Lowell Park in Cotuit, Massachusetts. This is Bourne Braves baseball alongside Joram Palacio. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. The Braves come off a huge win last night against the top team in the West, beating the Wareham Gatemen 6-1. Joran, how can this team build off of what we saw last night?
Well, I've been saying it all season long, Sam. Hitting is contagious, and as long as last night does not prove to be a fluke, we've seen that kind of offensive explosion from this team once before against Falmouth in that 10-2 win. If the bats can keep staying alive, the bats can stay hot, this team will stay hot too because they have the pitching to really take them far in this Cape Cod Baseball League, Sam.
Now tonight, it's the second-place team in the Western Division, the Cotuit Kettleers, who come off a hard-fought 9-8 victory last night against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And Joran, this team has a ton of power.
I believe they lead the league in home runs hit, Sam, and it's not hard to see why. The wind here at Lowell Park blowing out toward the fences, and you look at their home record so far this season, 6-2-1. This team very comfortable on the third base side of the dugout. They know what to expect out of their home stadium, and they've made it work for them so far this season.
All right, starting lineups and first pitch coming up next. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on YouTube. Welcome back to Lowell Park. Let's take a look at how the Bourne Braves line up here tonight. Judd Fabian will lead it off for the Braves. He's playing in center field. Jimmy Glowacki, the second spot, the shortstop. Cade Beloso, the first baseman. He takes over the 3 spot tonight. Jackson Greer, coming off a 2-double, 3 RBI game, is in the cleanup spot. He's batting DH. Xavier Warren, the third baseman. Henry Davis, the catcher who last played against Hyannis and hit a home run. Kyler Fedko, the right fielder. Jared Poland at second base. He's in the 8th spot. And Kyle Hess in left field rounds out the lineup. They'll be going up against Joseph Nahas out of Georgia Southern, who's starting his second game of the summer, Jordan.
Yeah, and Joseph Nahas comes into this game with a lot of prowess against right-handed batters. We're talking about a kid here who's faced 22 right-handed hitters, and he struck out 20 of them, Sam. 2 of them got on via walk, but that's why this Braves roster needed that night last night. They needed to get the confidence back with the hitting, putting up 6 runs on the Western Division leaders. The Wareham Gaiman might be all the confidence they need to go out and try and get some base hits against this very tough pitcher.
Nahas will certainly be tough on the mound. The Kettleers coming in with an 8-7-2 record, 6-2-1 at home. The Braves 6-9 after a victory last night that broke a small little 2-game losing streak. A 6-run performance, 6-1 over the Wareham Gatemen, who still sit atop the Western Division. Judd Fabian still over by the Bourne Braves dugout. Cotuit Kettleers finishing up their grounders before the inning, and Fabian will walk to the batter's box, and this one's about to be underway. Defensively for Cotuit, it's Joey Loperfido at first, Nick Gonzalez at second, Adam Oviedo at short, Casey Schmidt at third, Sam Ferry behind the plate, Araj Anu in right, Parker Chavers in center, and Christian Robinson in left. So Fabian steps up. Nahas on the mound, the right-handed pitcher against the right-handed batter. He goes into his windup. Here's the first pitch to Fabian. It's an outside strike, and we're underway here at Lowell Park.
And we know what we're going to get out of Nahas here. Judd Fabian, who's been swinging a hot bat for the Braves, has the opportunity here to make it 3 nights in a row, leading things off with a base hit.
Fabian, a solid night last night, went 3 for 5. The 0-1 slides right into the zone from Nahas, and he's quickly down 0-2. Fabian, 3 for 5 at double, a run scored, and the 2 at-bats he didn't get a hit. He struck out against Wareham. 350 average. Coming into this game, here's the 0-2 pitch from Nahas, a high fastball, and Judd Fabian swings at it for the first out. And now make that 21 strikeouts against right-handed batters.
21 for 23. That's pretty good over there, Sammy. I'm not sure you could do a lot better than that. A 3-pitch strikeout to kick this game off. And now here comes another right-hander in Jimmy Glowacki.
Glowacki broke his 3-game hitting streak last night, went 0 for 3. Had an RBI on a sacrifice fly. Came around to score as well. The first pitch is high from Nahas for a ball, 1-0. For Nahas, this will be his 5th appearance, only starting his 2nd game. 1-0 pitch to Glowacki. Off speed. The outside of the zone. Evens up the count. A ball and a strike. Glowacki coming into this at-bat. A .279 average. 12 for 43 on the season. A double. 4 RBIs. One of them coming last night. He struck out 7 times. 1-1 pitch to Glowacki. He fouls it right back to the backstop, and he's quickly down 1-2.
And the wind blowing a little bit here at Lowell Park. And like I mentioned before the Braves, Samuel, the pregame show over on the Facebook side, wind usually blowing out. And that's why we're seeing so many home runs at this park.
16 homers for the Kettleers on the season. That leads the league. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Glowacki. It's off speed. He takes it to deep left field. Robinson is moving back to the wall. He'll catch it just before the wall for a loud out number 2 off the bat of Jimmy Glowacki.
It's almost perfect timing talking about the home runs, Sam. This one carried probably further than it does at Doran. It's 320 to the left field corner and then 395 to center. So probably 340 or in that neighborhood, in that area. And he hit the left fielder. Robinson went back all the way to the track, Sam. Loud out, like he said, but another out.
Cade Beloso steps out. The first lefty in tonight's lineup. 1 for 4 game last night with a double. The first pitch is a fastball from Nahas for a strike. And Jordan, we were watching batting practice. The Braves hit more home runs in batting practice tonight than I think they have the entire season before any game. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Beloso. Swings at it, fouls it off third base side and into the seats, and he's down 0-2.
Yeah, it's funny. This park only about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic, away from the park, and the ball just carries so much differently here than it does at Bourne. Usually the wind knocking the ball down over at Bourne Park. Here, you get a little under it. The wind will take it, possibly over the fence too, Sam.
Nobody out, 2 outs. Or no, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Beloso. It's a high fastball from Nahas. Beloso takes it for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strike count. 0-0 score in the top of the first inning from Lowell Park. 16th game for the Braves this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Beloso. Off speed, he flies it over to shortstop. Oviedo is under it, and he will make the play for the third out. Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits in the top of the first. We head to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Zero score between the Braves and the Kettleers. Let's take a look at how the Cotuit Kettleers line up for tonight's ball game. Nick Gonzalez leads it off. One of the hottest hitters in the Cape League. He's playing second. Casey Schmidt in the second spot. He's playing third. Aubrey Major, the DH, returns tonight after being out of the lineup for quite some time. Araj Anu in right field. Parker Chavers in center. Christian Robinson in left field. He is in the lineup as well. Joey Loperfido, the first baseman. Adam Oviedo, the shortstop, is in the 8th spot. And Sam Ferry, the catcher from Arizona State, makes his Cape Cod Baseball League debut in the 9th spot. And Jordan, they're going to be going up against the Braves ace, Harrison Rakowski.
Yeah, the opening day starter now making his 4th start so far this season. 1-1 on the year with a 1.80 ERA. Only he's given up 3 runs in those 15 innings, 13 strikeouts for Rakowski. Last time started against Chatham last Wednesday night, went 5 innings through 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and got the no decision in that game. And is going to be tasked with going up against the hottest hitter right now in the Cape League, Sam, Nick Gonzalez.
Nick Gonzalez, a high 357 average coming into this game. 3 home runs. That's tied for second in the league. 15 RBIs. Here's the first pitch from the lefty, Rakowski. Gonzalez hits it right up the middle. That hits Rakowski's feet. It's a grounder over to second with Jared Poland, but Gonzalez gets there in time. He's on with a leadoff single. Was going to be a hit anyways. It luckily hit off Rakowski's feet that gave the Braves a chance, but nonetheless, Gonzalez is over at first with a leadoff hit.
Yeah, it was in fastball first pitch. Rakowski has a fastball that'll be upper 80s, might touch 90 once in a while. Gonzalez sitting on that first pitch, took it right back up the middle, right off the laces of Rakowski's foot there. And by the time Jared Poland, who's at second base today, was able to get it, Gonzalez was already at first.
Poland playing second for the first time this season. Here's the first pitch to Casey Schmidt. It's a high fastball from Rakowski that misses the zone, 1-0. Schmidt struggling coming into this game, a 196 average, 9 for 46. Also has 3 home runs. Tied for second in the league, 9 RBIs in his 13 games played. The 1-0 is lifted foul off the bat of Schmidt. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike.
And that was 89 right there from Rakowski. Love to see him throw himself a ground ball here, work a double play. Got the ground ball from Gonzalez, just right back up to him.
Cotuit had 3 home runs last night against Hyannis. Casey Schmidt was one of them. Here's the 1-1 from Rakowski. It is an off-speed that slides right into the zone for a strike 2. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Schmidt.
It'll be interesting to see how Rakowski attacks this 1-2 count here. Does he go waste pitch, maybe something up and out, try and get the strikeout, or try and send him down right now?
Rakowski comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That Schmidt flies high in the air, going toward foul territory over by the dugout. And making the out will be Cade Beloso right by the fence. So there's the first out of the inning. Beloso moves into foul territory and puts him away.
Yeah, Rakowski was able to get Schmidt to chase there on the pitch up and outside. And all you can do when pitch that high is you're going to pop the ball straight up. And Beloso making a nice play over by the Braves dugouts to retire Schmidt and get the first out in the inning.
Aubrey Major comes up, and he has the highest average on the team by far, 563 coming into this at-bat. Hasn't played since June 19th against Wareham. First pitch he swings at, sends it to left field on the ground ball. Jimmy Glowinski dives for it, can't get it. It skips over to Kyle Hess, and it's a one-pitch single, and quickly Cotuit has runners on first and second.
So the thread so far in this first inning for these two singles, as they've both been on the first pitch. Gonzalez and Major really sitting on a fastball that first pitch, and we're able to take advantage, hitting the ball hard, but more importantly, Sam, hitting the ball on the ground.
Rakowski facing a tough situation here in the first. Araj Anu from Kentucky will step up, swings at the first pitch, and grounds it on the third base side foul. Anu, 185 average, 10 for 54 on the season. Also a player with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. He scored 6 runs. Went 1 for 4 last night with a home run against Hyannis. Runners on first and second, 1 out for the Braves. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A new ground ball to Xavier Warren at third. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first is in time as well. And it's a much-needed double play for the Bourne Braves. Cotuit puts runners on first and second with 1 out and can't turn in any runs. Still a 0-0 score heading to the top of the second inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Four, five, 6 batters due up for the Bourne Braves in the top of the second inning. Still a 0-0 score. Jackson Greer will lead it off. Now, he was catching last night. Tonight, he's the designated hitter for the Braves. But, Jordan, what a performance we saw from Greer last night.
Well, it doesn't get a lot better than 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and he really exploded onto the scene here. He's been with 3 different teams, but is hitting above 300 so far on the season on the Cape. He hit 4 for 10 with Harwich, 1 for 3 with YD, and now he is 3 for 9 with the Bravos.
Greer hoping to find a home here in Bourne for the rest of the summer. Here's the first pitch. It's off speed, and he screams it down the left field line. That'll skip all the way to the wall. Greer turns around first and heads for second. It's a leadoff double for Jackson Greer and his third in 2 days.
Unbelievable from Jackson Greer. It explodes on the first pitch right down the line. And he might be the double machine on this team. He had 2 last night, making another one here this afternoon in Cotuit. And the Braves now in business. Runner in scoring position with nobody out.
It was the first inning in last night's ball game where the Braves hit 3 doubles in a row. Beloso led it off with a double. Then it was Greer and Warren following suit. Now Xavier Warren stepping up for his first at-bat tonight with Greer over on second.
Make that the first hit that Nahas has given up to a right-handed hitter so far on the season. Who else but Jackson Greer?
Greer is on fire. Turns back, throws towards second. Greer gets back in time. Xavier Warren, the switch hitter, batting, of course, from the left side against the right-handed pitcher. Went 2 for 3 with a double last night, 2 RBIs, and 1 walk against the West leading Gateman. 8 RBIs on the season, a team-leading number. Warren playing third base today. Second game in a row he's batting in this spot in the lineup. Here's the first pitch to Greer, and he shoots that ball to right field. Moving under it will be Anu over in right center field. It's caught by Chavers. That'll allow Greer to get over to third. It was deep enough. So Warren is retired on the fly out to right center field, but Jackson Greer moves 90 feet away from scoring.
And that's what's important. He really did his job there. Xavier Warren did a nice job getting the ball deep enough so that Greer could advance. And now the leadoff run here is only one base away, 90 feet away for Henry Davis, who himself is swinging a hot bat too.
Henry Davis, another new face for the Braves. This is only the third game he's played in. Comes in with a .250 average, 2 for 8, 3 RBIs. Homered in the last game he played in on Sunday against Hyannis. Went 1 for 4 that game with a strikeout, 2 RBIs. It was a 2-run shot to left field. The first pitch to him is an inside strike. He starts out 0-1.
Yeah, so Nahas hitting 92 on that fastball, so that's what we can expect out of him. Upper 80s, lower 90s, might get up to a 93, 94. A lot of velo and great command. We saw that in the first inning.
Nahas comes set. Jackson Greer over on third, 1 out in the inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Henry Davis. It's outside. He fouls it off. Right behind the catcher, Sam Ferry, who gets his first start of the summer. Was activated just yesterday. Henry Davis now down 0-2.
Yeah, the Kettleers already playing that do-or-die mentality here. We're only in the top of the second inning, but infield all the way up on the grass here, trying to prevent Greer from scoring. If Davis can hit something hard here on the ground, likely to get through.
Nahas comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch on Henry Davis, off speed, falls in front of Ferry for a 2-strike count now.
There's a mid-80s curve right there from Nahas. Good pitch. Even better take by Henry Davis, being able to see that one down. If a pitch starts down, it's going to stay down, and Davis doing a nice job there adjusting.
1-2 to Davis is a fastball, grounds it out third base side and in foul territory, so we'll do it again, 1-2. Nahas has only allowed 2 earned runs on the season. Now, this being only his second start. The last game he played in was his last start against Orleans on the 26th of June, went 4 innings there. No earned runs, 1 hit, and 9 strikeouts in 4 innings. 1-2 on Davis. He lifts it high to right field. Anu will get under it. Jackson Greer tagging from third. Anu puts it away. Here comes Jackson Greer. He'll cross home, and the Braves take an early 1-0 lead.
That is the classic doing your job mentality right there from the Bravos. Jackson Greer gets the inning started with a leadoff double. Fly out advances him, and then a sacrifice fly for an RBI for Henry Davis. And just like that, the Braves got a 1-0 lead here against Cotuit.
Henry Davis collects his 4th RBI in 3 games, and that now brings up Kyler Fedko. Fedko, a 158 average. Early struggles. He's 3 for 19. Went 1 for 4 on Sunday against Hyannis with 3 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch from Nahas. It's a high fastball upstairs for a ball. 1-0.
And that's what we saw, or we haven't seen, I should say, Sam, out of this team. We've seen the ability to lead things off with a single, get a double there, not the ability to drive the runners in. And though there it's a little bit more of the small ball approach, they got the job done.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Nahas to Fedko. Another fastball that's upstairs. Fedko takes it. 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody on. 2 outs. Top half of the second inning. Braves with already 1 run on the board. Fedko back in the box. A few practice swings. Beautiful day here in Cotuit, Massachusetts for some baseball. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Fedko. A hard fastball from Nahas. Fedko swings at it for the first strike. 2-1. It's been fastball, fastball, fastball on Kyler Fedko.
And at a 1-2 count here, I'd expect that curveball here down and away, probably in the dirt. Try and get Fedko to chase here after so many fastballs.
Fedco ahead in the count 2-1. Here's the delivery from Nahas. It falls outside and low. Appeal over to first. Fedco did not go around on the check swing, so he has a great count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fedco, the rising sophomore from UConn, put up decent numbers there. 242, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs on the season, a .409 slugging percentage. The 3-1 to Fedco. He swings at it, fouls it right back to the backstop, and the count now runs full and 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And it was another fastball there after the curveball missed outside. 3-2 here with 2 outs. I think we'll see Nahas give Fedco and give us his best pitch here. I think that's what we're about to see out of Joe Nahas here.
Jared Poland on deck if Fedco can find a way to get on. Fedco taps the plate with the wood bat. Here's the payoff pitch from Nahas to Fedco. Outside, swings at it and fouls it off right back to the backstop yet again. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Fedco is right on those pitches from Nahas.
Yeah, 90-mile-an-hour fastball there from Nahas, and now you start to kind of get into the pitcher's repertoire a little bit here. I think 3-2 here with 2 outs. You might see that breaking ball again. Haven't seen it in a few pitches.
Payoff from Nahas to Fedco. He swings at it and he sends it to center field. Chavers moving in, and he will catch it on the fly. A hard hit ball from Kyler Fedco that just hangs up a little too long for the 3rd out. But the Braves get on the board. It was a leadoff single from Jackson Greer, and Henry Davis knocks him in with a sacrifice fly. Braves on top, 1-0. We'll head to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of health services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. 5, 6, 7 batters due up for the Cotuit Kettleers after Araj Anu grounded out into a double play with runners on first and second and 1 out. Parker Chivers leads it off. The first pitch from Rakowski is swung at, grounded out on the first base side, and fouled off.
And very important here for Harrison Rakowski to not let go of the momentum built by both the defense and then the offense in the bottom of the first and top of the second.
0-1 pitch to Chavers is outside. He checked his swing. Yes, he did go around. And he now falls behind 0-2. Rising junior from Coastal Carolina, the 2016 College Baseball World Series champions. The 0-2 grounded first base side and foul.
And Rakowski got him to go around there on that curveball, 0-2. Just went off speed here. You might see him go fastball, perhaps up and away, maybe a waste pitch here, try and get a chase.
0-2 from Rakowski. Chavers thinks about it. The appeal, yes, he did go around for strike 3. Checks his swing on the 0-2 pitch that was outside and in the dirt, and Harrison Rakowski has his first strikeout of the evening.
That was a beautiful sequence there from Rakowski, getting him to go around twice on the pitch, way down and away, kind of just following the pitch there with his bats, and by the time he was able to stop it, Chavers, he had crossed the plate. They check swing twice, appeal it twice, and it's good for the first out.
Now it's Christian Robinson, the rising junior from Stanford. A 200 average coming into this game, a lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch he swings at. It's in between first and second into right field for a 1-out single off the bat of Christian Robinson.
Well, you know what that continues, Sam? All 3 hits so far in this game have come on the first pitch. As Gonzalez in the first, then it was Major also in the first, and now in the second inning, it's Christian Robinson Rakowski, it looks like they got something on Rakowski, knowing that he's going to throw that fastball probably for a strike that first pitch. And the Kettleers real aggressive out of the gates.
Swing early against Rakowski. It's another lefty, and Joey Loperfido. He strikes. He watches strike one on the fastball from Rakowski. Falls behind 0-1. Loperfido, a .83 average. He's won for his first 12 in the Cape League so far. The 0-1 is outside. Chases Henry Davis out of the catcher position. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And something to watch for with these Kettleers is the stolen base. There's a lot of stolen bases with this team. And we've seen teams here in this league not afraid to run.
1-1 to Loperfido is outside. 2 ball and 1 strike count now.
And another ground ball here would just go beautifully here for Harrison Rakowski. If he's able to work maybe that breaking ball down and then down and away, something to force a ground ball.
Rakowski comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Loperfido. It's lined on the left field side in between short and third and into left field. So Loperfido goes opposite field for another single. It's back-to-back singles for the Kettleers and their 4th hit of the ballgame.
And now this is where you get a little bit shaky up there on the mound. Back-to-back singles, both singles hit hard as well. That one finding the hole between Glowenke and Warren on the left side. And now that brings up another guy here with 3 home runs on the season, Adam Oviedo.
3 home runs and 9 RBIs. He steps up with runners on first and second, only 1 out. Harrison Rakowski had this same situation in the first inning, and Oraj Anu grounded out into a double play. First pitch to Oviedo is inside for a ball, 1-0. Oviedo against Hyannis only had 1 at-bat and went 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 2 walks. A run scored as well against the Harbor Hawks. Here's the 1-0 pitch, is swung at way out in front of the off-speed pitch from Rakowski. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oviedo, today's shortstop for the Kettleers. Robinson at second, Loperfido at first. Oviedo back into the batter's box. 1-1 from Rakowski. Just chops it foul. That'll move the count up 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And this is important here for Rakowski because another single and a run is likely to score over from second base and Christian Robinson. Have to watch out here. You're up 1-2. Just don't want to get too crazy with your waste pitch. Have it go to the backstop.
Rakowski, here's the 1-2 pitch to him, and Oviedo just chops it foul back into the mask of Henry Davis. So we'll do the 1 ball, 2 strike count yet again. Runners on first and second, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Braves lead at 1-0. On just 1 hit, Cotuit with 4 hits already in the second inning. 1-2 from Rakowski. Off speed, and Oviedo lifts it high to shallow left field. Kyle Hess is moving in on it. He will get under the ball and make the play for a much-needed second out of the inning.
And what's even better about that is everybody stays home on the base pass. Robinson and Loperfido rather, have to stay because the ball was hit so shallow out there in left field. Hess was able to jog under it. That's a big out, and you have some confidence now going against the number 9 spot in the order here, Sam.
It's Sam Ferry, who was just activated yesterday out of Arizona State. He's catching today for his first game of the summer. Steps up with runners on first and second, 2 outs. Rakowski looking to get out of another dangerous situation. First pitch to Ferry is outside.
Yeah, and Sam Ferry out of Arizona State split his time up with Lyle Lynn, who was just drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks in this past year's draft. Had some troubles dealing with some injuries his first couple seasons.
1-0 pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike from Rakowski. 1 ball and 1 strike count now.
After Lyle Lynn, who is a former Brave, has graduated this past year. He's moving on. It's going to be Sam Ferry's starting position to lose for Arizona State.
Rakowski comes set. The 1-1 pitch is off speed and outside. Ferry lays off. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rakowski came into this game, only 9 hits allowed on this season. Cotuit has almost gotten half of that with 4 already in the first 1 2/3 innings. 2-1 pitch from Rakowski, a ground ball to Xavier Warren at third. He will tag the bag, and Ferry is retired on the fielder's choice, and Rakowski gets out of another runners on first and second with only one out situation. Cotuit goes down scoreless. Still a 1-0 Braves lead. We head to the top half of the third. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. Eight, 9-1 due up for the Braves in the top half of the third inning. 1 run scored for Bourne in the top of the second from the sac fly of Henry Davis that scored Jackson Greer. The Braves looking to continue their success with a 1-0 lead over Cotuit. Jared Poland, Kyle Hess, and Judd Fabian will be due up. Poland steps in against Joseph Nahas, who's only allowed 1 hit, just the double to Jackson Greer in the second. Here's the first pitch to Poland. An off-speed pitch that curves into the strike zone for a strike. Poland playing second today. Went 1 for 3 with a walk against Wareham, a .333 average in the first game he played in. 0-1 is fouled off first base side and into the seats. He falls behind 0-2.
I'll tell you what, you have to be really on your toes here at Lowell Park if you're sitting in the stands. The low fences here, and if the ball gets over the fence off the bat that hard, I hope you brought your glove.
Nahas, the righty, comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch on Poland. It's outside, but he grounds it into right field out of the outstretched glove of Gonzalez at second, and it's a leadoff single for Jared Poland, his second hit of the summer.
And that's a good piece of hitting there from Jared Poland, taking the pitch where it's thrown. Outside pitch, he takes it on the right side, opposite field, just past Gonzalez, who dove on the play. And it's another leadoff hit here for the Braves. And it's almost like these past 2 games, Sam, we're seeing a completely different team.
2 hits for the Braves so far in the first few innings. Kyle Hess steps up. 174 average for him on the season. Went 0 for 4 with a strikeout on Saturday's game against Falmouth. That was the last time he played. Throwback to first. Poland just slides back in time.
Yeah, the Cotuit bench really wanted that call over there. Rick Emerson, the first base umpire, very nonchalantly calling him safe.
Hess playing left today. First time he's played since the Falmouth game on Saturday. Has had a few days off. Throw back to first. And it gets away from the first baseman, Loperfido. That'll allow Poland to get over to second on the wild throw from Nahas. So the Braves now with a runner in scoring position over at second.
Small ball, Sam. It's all about small ball here. The Braves in the same situation they were in the second inning. Credit the error to Nahas on the mound for throwing the ball away on the pickoff throw. And now Poland sitting on second base. Nobody out here. The goal now for Kyle Hess moves. It goes from just trying to get a base hits, now moving the runner over.
Hess without an RBI on the season. He scored 3 runs, one of them coming around to score on Alec Burleson's walk-off single against Orleans a few weeks back. That win is actually ending up saying a lot with how good Orleans is. Sits atop of the Eastern Division. A throwback to second. Poland gets back in time. So obviously Joseph Nahas extremely bothered by Poland on the base pass. He hasn't even thrown Kyle Hess a pitch yet, and Hess has been in the batter's box for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, at least that's what it's felt like, huh? Hess here trying to get maybe a little pitch to hit, sitting on a first pitch fastball here. Again, the goal of the at-bat just get Poland over the third base.
Nahas comes set, looks back towards second. Now throws toward Hess for the first pitch of the at-bat. It's a breaking ball that slides in the zone for a strike one.
Yeah, good pitch there from Nahas on the outside part of the plate. Righty on lefty matchup here. I wouldn't be surprised here. 0-1, maybe Hess might drop down the bunt. The third baseman Schmidt playing up on the grass. Drop the sacrifice and get Poland over the third.
Hess back in the box, Poland at second. Here's the 0-1 pitch on Hess. He takes it to right center field. Anu and Chavers back on it. That ball is caught by Chavers right by the wall, but moving to third is Jared Poland. A loud out number one as Hess goes down on a deep fly out, but again, the Braves move the second run of the game just 90 feet away.
And it's all about doing your job. Jimmy Glowacki did the exact same thing, or excuse me, Xavier Warren, I should say, did the exact same thing back in the second inning, hit a deep fly ball that was caught, but was able to advance Jackson Greer. Hess just doing his job here, missed a home run by about 10 or 15 feet, and now it falls on the leadoff man here, Judd Fabian, to cash in on the run.
Fabian is 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in the first inning. Poland over on third with just one out in the inning. First pitch from Nahas is looked at by Fabian for a strike.
It's a really nice pitch there from Nahas. That breaking ball just snapping right back into the zone, right at the knees of Judd Fabian here. Infield once again playing on the infield grass. Something hard hit and on the ground, most likely to get through here.
Nahas certainly favoring the breaking ball early in this one. The 0-1 is a fastball on the outside corner for strike two. And Fabian struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning, is now down quickly 0-2.
Yeah, struck out on 3 pitches back in the first. Has to fight something off here. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw that breaking ball again.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to the rising sophomore from Florida. He fouls off first base side into the seats, so he stays alive. Fabian, of course, enrolled as a Florida Gator early, foregoing his senior season in high school. Was likely to be a high draft pick, chose to go to Florida instead. 0-2 pitch on Fabian. It's off speed, got him swinging for the second time this evening. Judd Fabian goes down for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate at-bat there for Fabian, who came into this game extremely hot after a couple multi-hit games. Now it falls on to Mr. Reliable in this lineup here, Jimmy Glowacki.
And Glowacki, 4 RBIs on the season. He got one of those last night on a sacrifice fly. He can't do that here with 2 outs. Poland still over at third. Here's the first pitch to Glowacki. It's a high first pitch upstairs for a ball. Glowacki has reached base in 4 straight games. Couldn't continue the hitting streak last night. Nahas comes set. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Glowacki. Fouls back toward the backstop. And that will even this count up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Couple fastballs to start Glowacki out here. So you think sooner or later he's going to see that breaking ball. And I think he just might hear 1-1. Have to hit something hard here. Infield gets to go back to the original spots.
Nahas comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jimmy Glowacki. It's low and outside for a ball. And Glowacki moves ahead. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jimmy Glowacki, when Alika Williams was playing, played mostly second base. Alika Williams made the final Team USA roster along with Alec Burleson of the Braves, and Heston Kjerstad as well, who never showed up. Time is called by Glowacki. Manager Harvey Shapiro now moves Jimmy Glowacki over to short for most games. And second base has really just seen a rotation of players. Poland gets the start today. Jake McKenzie has played there as well. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Glowacki. It's off speed and outside. Pops out of the glove of Ferry. Poland still over at third. It's now a 3-ball, 1 strike count.
And Glewenke and Sam Ferry having a little bit of a conversation here. 3-1. Great position to be in here if you're Jimmy Glewenke.
Glewenke out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Ferry out of the Pac-12. Home plate umpire Pat, also known as Sparky Burns, tells a bat boy to go over to the Cotuit dugout. Possibly needs more baseballs.
I think he might be spying. We might get bat boy gate here. Trying to get
know.
info out of the Braves dugout.
You never know here in the Cape League. Here's the 3-1 pitch on Glewenke. It's outside, grounder on the third base side that just goes foul. He chopped that one over, hugging the left field line. Third baseman Casey Schmidt looked to field it. It was going to be extra bases, but just goes foul by an inch or two, and it's now a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Glewenke.
Yeah, and you say an inch or two, and it was an inch or two because that ball was really close, just bounced on the wrong side of third base, and if it stayed fair, it would have been extra bases for sure for Glewenke, and that run obviously would have come in to score.
Check that, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nahas comes set. Here's the payoff pitch to Glewenke. He fouls it off yet again into the seats. Stays alive, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Braves really looking for as many runs as they can get. They're 5-1 when scoring over 2 runs in a ball game, and 1-8 when scoring 2 runs or less. Payoff pitch to Jimmy Glewenke is off speed. He flies it foul on the third base side, and he's really putting together a battle with Joseph Nahas.
No, he absolutely is. He's put together a great at-bat here. This is mano a mano. Do not get it twisted. This is a little bit of gamesmanship here between Nahas and Glewenke. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We've seen a couple fastballs back-to-back. You have to wonder if Nahas is going to break it off here, throw that breaking ball, or just challenge him with the gas.
Glewenke steps back in, the rising junior from Dallas Baptist. Here's the payoff pitch from Nahas. It's a fastball that he flies over first base side right by the wall, and that ball is caught on the first base line by Joey Loper-Fido right by the wall, and Jimmy Glewenke, who put up a great battle, goes down on the flyout. So the Braves get 1 hit on the single from Jared Poland. They leave him over at third, no runs. Still a 1-0 lead for Bourne. We head to the bottom half of the third. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. One 1-0 lead for the Bourne Braves entering the bottom of the third inning. Cotuit has 1, 2, 3 due up in Gonzalez, Schmidt, and Major. Gonzalez, we mentioned, has been dominant through his stay in the Cape League so far. Got on with a single to lead things off, a first pitch single on Harrison Murkowski in the first inning. Came into this game a .357 average when hitless last night, 0 for 3. It snapped a 7-game hitting streak that he had before, leading up to last night's game against Hyannis. Here's the first pitch from Murkowski on Gonzalez. He thinks about it, holds off, and it's a ball called upstairs for a high ball from Murkowski. 1-0. 4 hits for Cotuit tonight, Joran.
Yeah, and I was going to say Gonzalez has been all over the map recently. Really hitting the ball well.
1-0 on Gonzalez. Flies out first base side into the seats. Evens the count up. 1 ball and 1 strike. He just won the Cape Cod Baseball League Player of the Week. That award being named on their website. Had a monster week last week. 1-1 pitch. He grounds third base side foul. Now finds himself in a 1-ball, 2-strike hole. The rising junior from New Mexico State. He put big numbers up there, and it's translating here in the Cape League. And if you can be successful here, you have a good shot at making it far in the major leagues.
Yeah, and we've said it here on the broadcast a few times that the level of pitching here is significant to like an ace god.
1-2, it's taken to right field. Moving towards it is Fedko. That ball is fair on the first base line. Gonzalez moves over to second. It's a leadoff double for Nick Gonzalez. He's already 2 for 2 as he went opposite field and just was fair by a little bit on the first base side. He gets on with a double.
Yeah, he was able just to slice that ball right on the fair side down the right field line, and he was on his horse right out of the box. There was no chance he was not going to make it in the second with a leadoff double. Now it's Casey Schmidt for this Cotuit team that has the opportunity here to knot us up at 1.
And Schmidt from San Diego State, a rising junior, has a runner in scoring position on second in Nick Gonzalez. Rakowski comes set. Here's the first pitch to Schmidt. It's a swinging strike on the high and outside pitch from Rakowski. Schmidt flew out on the first base side in the first inning. Homered against Hyannis, 2 for 4 game, 3 RBIs. Coming off a hot performance, the 0-1 is off speed outside from Rakowski. It's a 1-ball and 1-strike count.
And from Rakowski, we'll see a pretty big mile-an-hour differential between his fastball upper 80s and that changeup there, mid-70s.
Rakowski comes set. The 1-1 pitch slides inside on the breaking ball. Schmidt now ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. The best start we saw from Harrison Rakowski was a few weeks ago at Harwich. Went 6 innings, struck out 8. Was our player of the game there. He's had a pretty successful stay so far. 2-1 pitch is grounded third base side foul. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And these Kettleers getting a lot of contact on Rakowski's pitches.
Yeah, Rakowski has been very good at bending but not breaking so far in this outing. Only in the bottom of the third inning, still real early in this game. I think this is his toughest test right here with the runner in scoring position and nobody out.
Rakowski from Rutgers, a returning player on this Braves team. Played here last year. 2-2 pitch on Schmidt is high, and he fouls it off toward the Braves dugout. Rakowski jammed him. And Schmidt just got contact. He stays alive, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the difference between Rakowski last season and this season is almost night and day. He went 0-2 with the Braves last season with a 6.64 ERA through 21 2/3 innings for the Bravos last year.
2-2 pitch on Schmidt is a swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch. And there's the second strikeout for Harrison Rakowski tonight. It comes from Casey Schmidt and the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's a big strikeout there from Rakowski as well because it keeps Gonzalez, who has some wheels over at second base. The most unproductive out you could ever have is a strikeout, but can't get too excited now because here comes Major.
Aubrey Major, rising junior from Xavier, stands at 6'6", 205. You can see that height when he comes up to the plate. First pitch is in the dirt from Rakowski. 1-0. Major singled in the first inning. First base was the farthest he could get as the very next batter, Araj Anu, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Nick Gonzalez over at second, 1 out. In the bottom of the third inning, second pitch to Major is low for a ball, 2-0.
Yeah, this is not the guy you want to fall behind to. Major, although he has not played in a while, has the best stats in the entire league. He just doesn't qualify for leading the average, but if he did, I guarantee he would. 563 coming into tonight's game.
2-0 pitch from Rakowski is outside, and that now moves to a 3-ball and no strike count to the Xavier Musketeer, Aubrey Major.
And a walk here doesn't necessarily kill you. First base open, just definitely don't want to make a mistake here, 3-0.
A must-needed strike. Rakowski comes set. Gonzalez over at second. 3-0 pitch is down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Aubrey Major, we mentioned his height, 6'6". has a big strike zone. We haven't seen a player this tall since Eric Fago with Brewster, who I also believe is 6'6". 3-1 pitch to Major is high and outside, and he walks. The first walk of the game surrendered by Harrison Rakowski, and the Kettleers, for the third inning in a row, have runners on first and second.
Yeah, and that's not that big of a deal here if you're Harrison Rakowski, because you're one ground ball away from getting out of this. And Raj Anu, who stepped in last time, you remember what he did?
Double play.
Double play, exactly. So if Rakowski is able to produce another ground ball here, that walk is not going to mean anything by the end of this game if he's able to get out of this inning.
Anu 0 for 1. First pitch is a swinging strike upstairs from Rakowski. He gets Raj Anu to go for it. 0-1. Braves with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning. 5 hits already for Cotuit, just 2 for the Braves. 0-1 pitch on Anu. It's another fastball and a swinging strike. Rakowski now has him down 0-2.
And a strikeout would go in there just as nicely for Harrison Rakowski, especially if he's able to work Anu quickly here. 0-2. I think he's going to go after him right away.
0-2 from Rakowski. It's high, almost hits him. He turns his back. It's a ball from Rakowski, and Anu now has a 1-2 strike count. Nick Gonzalez at second. Aubrey Major at first, both with hits. Major with a single, Gonzalez with a leadoff double in this inning. Anu back in the box. Rakowski, hands meet at the belt. Here's the 1-2 pitch from the lefty, and Anu takes that ball to right field. Coming in is Kyler Fedko, who catches it on the fly for the second out of the inning.
And that's where sometimes how the ball carries can kind of come back to bite you a little bit. Off the bat, that looked like the ball was sinking toward a single for Aubrey Majors. Even if it did fall, everybody would only move up 90 feet. But Kyler Fedko doing real well there, getting in position at the right time. That ball kind of handcuffing him a little bit, caught it right at the belt, and that's always difficult to deal with the placement there, but he makes the catch for a big second out.
The ground in right field to make the play for the second out. Henry Davis, the catcher, calls timeout to go out and talk to Rakowski on the mound. Runners on first and second. Parker Chavers, the center fielder, steps up. 7 RBIs for him on the season. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Gonzalez at second. Aubrey Major at first. It's a lefty on lefty matchup. Chavers in the box. Rakowski ready to go, and now steps off the mound. Chavers also homered in the game against Hyannis. A 9-8 victory for the Cotuit Kettleers. Here's the first pitch. It's off speed and right in the zone for Rakowski. He starts Chavers off with the first pitch strike.
And that's after Hyannis had a 5-run top of the 8th inning, came back and tied the game at 8-8. And what happens right in the bottom of the 8th? Well, the Harbor Hawks give up a home run.
0-1 pitch from Rakowski. Chavers watches it outside. Bounces in the dirt right before Henry Davis. 1-1 strike count.
And that's no small thing right there. If someone's ever told you that something does not happen on every single pitch, they're lying to you, because if Davis lets that pitch get away, runners move up to second and third.
1-1 pitch to Chavers. He swings and misses on a ball way outside of the zone that actually bounced in the dirt. And he's now down a ball and 2 strikes. Rakowski with just 2 strikeouts in today's game, 1 coming from Chavers in the second and 1 from Casey Schmidt earlier in this inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Chavers. He just chops it foul and stays alive here in the bottom of the third. 1-2.
Yeah, bend but don't break. Harrison Rakowski putting on a clinic so far today. He's got to make one more pitch here to Parker Chavers, and if he is, it's been an impressive 3 innings so far from Rakowski.
The 1-2 pitch on Chavers, just missing the zone, a little high, called by home plate umpire Pat Burns, and that's the second ball of the at-bat. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on in the bottom half of the third. Cotuit looking to put a run on the board for the first time tonight. Here's the pitch to Chavers. He grounds it on the left field side. Diving is Glowenke. He can't make a play, so he just holds it. It'll be an infield single for Parker Chavers, and the Cotuit Kettleers load up the bases.
Yeah, good play there from Jimmy Glowenke. Again, it's not going to show up in the box score, but that diving stop prevents a run right there. That ball would not hit the hardest, and Kyle Hess coming up from left field. By the time he would have got there, and Gonzalez would have already been rounding third and halfway to home. So Glowenke makes a play, saves a run, but by the time he came up to his feet, he didn't have a play anywhere. Smarter to hold the ball than throw it away. Now, here we go. This is where boys become men here, Sam.
Christian Robinson, who's 1 for 1 with a single, swings at the first pitch, and it flies foul. Robinson singled in the second inning. Already down with an 0-1 count on Rakowski on the season. Robinson has 2 RBIs and just 16 at-bats. Now has the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The 0-1 on Robinson. It's off speed. He watches for strike 2, and he's down in an 0-2 hole.
Now we find out if Rakowski can take advantage here. 0-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. You're operating all off of instincts here as a baseball player.
Rakowski, glove and ball meet. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's taken on the left field side. Glowenke picks it up. The throw to second is not in time. And scoring is Nick Gonzalez for the Kettleers. They tie it in the bottom of the third.
And it's another impossible play for Glowenke over there to make. Does a nice job, again, cutting the ball off before it gets to the outfield. Tried to throw it to second, but by the time the throw got there, Chavez was already standing on the bag, and we have ourselves a tie game. Still not out of this inning quite yet here, Sam.
Robinson gets his 3rd RBI on the season, and Joey Loperfido comes up, who also singled in the second. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. Rakowski looking to get out of this inning. First pitch is upstairs for a ball. 1-1 game as Cotuit ties it up in the bottom of the third. For Rakowski, that's just his 4th earned run on the season. Bases loaded for Cotuit. 1-0 pitch to Loperfido. He flies into left field, curving foul. Moving over is Kyle Hess. He can't make the play as it just goes over the wall. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Loperfido.
And Rakowski there giving up that ground ball 0-2. Just found the sweet spot on the defense right in between Warren and Glowenke. And now 1-1 count here to Loperfido. Have to do well here to, I think, you keep the ball low here, try and get another ground ball, even though 2 of them would just bid you.
Major at third. Chavers at second. Robinson at first. The 1-1 pitch to Loperfido is low. Chases Davis out of the position. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count now for the first baseman for Cotuit. Cotuit with a team average coming into this game of 239. They've scored now 80 runs on the season with that single from Robinson that scored at Gonzalez. 2-1 to Loperfido. He flies it into center field. Fabian moving to his right side. Should put it away routinely, and he does for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Cotuit Kettleers match the Bourne Braves with a run of their own. An RBI single from Christian Robinson scoring Nick Gonzalez to even this ball game up at 1. We head to the top half of the 4th. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. Cotuit ties it up in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Cade Beloso leading it off for the Braves in a 1-1 ball game. 7 hits for the Kettleers, just 2 for the Braves. Beloso flying a fly ball over to shortstop in the first inning. Joseph Nahas back on the mound for the Kettleers. The first pitch to Beloso is upstairs and outside for a first pitch ball.
And that's a dangerous pitch right there for Nahas because he left that off speed up high, only clocking in at 84. And if he does that again, Beloso here might be ready to explode.
1-0 pitch to Beloso is off speed that just touches the top part of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike count.
Yeah, I think Beloso getting used to that eye level, though. Not used to seeing that pitch up in the upper part of the zone there. Caught looking.
Here's the 1-1 pitch on Cade Beloso. It's a fastball. A little chopper over to first base. Loperfido making the play. The toss over to a covering Nahas is in time, and Cade Beloso is retired, the first out of the inning.
Yeah, tough play there from Nahas. Good little PFP action, pitcher's fielding practice. Loperfido corrals the ground ball, flips it over to Nahas for the first out.
Here's Jackson Greer, doubled in his first plate appearance in the second and came around to score for the only run the Braves have got so far. His third double in 2 games. Faces Nahas for the second time here tonight. Into the windup, the first pitch is cut on and fouled back into the glove of Sam Ferry for a first pitch strike on Jackson Greer. Joseph Nahas, a little bit of a college journeyman. He started his career at UMBC, then ended up transferring to Chesapeake College. Now, at Chesapeake College, he won the Junior College State Championship in Maryland. Never knew they had a state championship for junior colleges, but they do, and he won. The 0-1 is upstairs to Jackson Greer for a ball, 1-1.
I think that varies by state.
It could.
I think it varies by state because, of course, you have the JUCO World Series. Certain teams are invited to, but yeah, out of Maryland.
1-1 pitch to Jackson Greer is off speed, and Greer way out in front of it for a strike. Now 1-2, he falls behind. Nahas actually earned first team All-Maryland Junior College Conference honors after going 10-1 in that season. After Chesapeake College, he transferred to Georgia Southern, where he spent his past season with. He went 2-0 there in 14 appearances, making 6 starts. 1-2 pitch on Greer is off speed. He flies out to right center field. Chavers will get under it, and he will make the play for the second out of the inning. Jackson Greer falls to 1 for 2, and that brings up Xavier Warren.
And this is important here for the Braves because they don't want to fall into the same old patterns that we're used to seeing out of them, having a 1-2-3 inning, a 1-2-3 inning, maybe get a lazy single and then another 1-2-3 inning. This is important for them to be able to try and get a base runner on every single inning. I don't know the last time we've seen that. They went 1-2-3 in the first, but the second, third, and the fourth, at least not yet at least, but the second and third, they've had base runners on.
Warren comes up. He's 0 for 1 on the flyout. First pitch to Warren is a strike right down the middle, 0-1. 7 times in this game, the Braves have been retired on the flyout. Ball catches a little more air here at Lowell Park. 0-1 to Warren. There's a fastball outside, 1-1.
It's important, too, to get runners on, not only for the obvious effects of having a chance to hit them around the score, but it allows Nahas to not get into a rhythm. When a pitcher is dealing and he's feeling good, he's into a rhythm. He's into it's like a dance, a rhythm. Come set, get the ball, throw the pitch.
1-1 pitch to Xavier Warren off speed, and Warren just missing that pitch, 1-2.
That was a great off speed there from Nahas as well. Really broke late in the pitch flight there, almost right when it got to the plate. It seemed to move. Almost nothing you can do as a hitter. Now Warren has a choke up here, 1-2.
Pitch from Nahas, just falling low. Nahas expresses his frustration. Really wanted that pitch. It's a 2-2 count on Xavier Warren. Base is empty. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. A 1-1 game. Cotuit scoring 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Braves scoring 1 in the top of the 2nd. 2-2 pitch on Xavier Warren is off speed inside on the breaking ball from Nahas, and the count now runs full, 3-2.
Yeah, that's a good take there from Warren. A good couple of takes, both on that breaking ball. Now here, 3-2. A little bit of a chess match here. What's going to be Nahas's next move?
Warren, 12 strikeouts on the Braves. That leads the team. Nahas in the windup. Here's the payoff pitch on Warren. It's just missing the zone on the fastball, and Xavier Warren reaches on the walk. So with 2 outs, the Braves put a runner on in Xavier Warren, just his 6th walk on the season. And that will bring up Henry Davis, who had a sac fly for an RBI in the 2nd inning.
And coming from an umpire, I usually don't like bringing this up, but Sam Ferry there dropping that ball, I think might have affected the outcome of the strike call or the non-strike call in that case. If Ferry holds on to that pitch, I think Pat Burns there behind the plate, he probably gives it a strikeout. But because the ball pops out of his glove, it looks, the way you perceive it, looks a little bit different. It looks like, oh, this pitch might have been a little lower than I thought, and Warren takes advantage with the walk.
Here's Henry Davis. 2 outs, runner on. Xavier Warren dives back toward the bag. Davis, that sac fly in the 2nd inning to score Jackson Greer, the only runs the Braves have scored in this game in the top of the 4th inning with 2 outs. Davis, 4 RBIs in his only 3 games. First pitch to him. Swings at it, lines it. A diving stop by Joey Loperfido, and he makes the play. A hard hit ball off the bat of Henry Davis that looked like it could have possibly been extra bases is saved by Loperfido on the catch at first, and that retires Davis. The Braves leave a runner on in Xavier Warren. No runs, no hits in the top of the 4th inning. Still a 1-1 game. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu. Adam Oviedo will lead it off for the Cotuit Kettleers in the bottom of the 4th inning against Harrison Rakowski, who remains on the bump for the Bourne Braves. First pitch to Oviedo is in there on the breaking ball from Rakowski for a strike. 0-1. Oviedo 0 for 1. A fly out to left in the 2nd inning. Sam Ferry, the number 9 batter, on deck, and it's back to the top of the lineup with Nick Gonzalez. 0-1 is low and outside from Rakowski. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Sam, you and I were talking during the break there how important this is for Rakowski to get to the top of the order with 2 outs. Do not want to have runners on when Nick Gonzalez comes to the plate.
1-1 for Oviedo. He skies back toward the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Between the top 3 batters for Cotuit, Gonzalez, Schmidt, and Major, 4 hits in between those 3, both coming from Gonzalez and Major, who are both 2 for 2. Or, Major 1 for 1 with a walk. Oviedo skies a high fly ball to right field. Moving in on it is Kyler Fedko. He will make the play for a leadoff out.
And so far, so good for Harrison Rakowski here in this bottom of the 4th. Base runners on every single inning for the Kettleers in this one. And like I said, it'd be a big feather in his cap if he can get to the top of the order here without giving up a base runner, especially with the likes of Gonzalez and Major.
Braves just 2 hits, 1 run. Cotuit with 7 hits, only 1 run on their side. First pitch to Sam Ferry is a breaking ball in there for a strike. The Cotuit line looks more like a Bourne Braves line from the past week.
That's what I was going to say. There's really only one column on that board that matters.
0-1, Ferry grounds it out over to Xavier Warren at third, picks it up, throw to first is in time, and it's a quick 2 outs for Harrison Rakowski on the mound.
A good change of pace, and this is exactly why we've seen Rakowski struggle a little bit, because he hasn't been allowed to get into his rhythm. We've seen him when he gets into his zone, he's lethal up there on the mound, but the Kettleers have been able to get runners on base the entire game, and if he's able to retire Gonzalez here, which he's not done yet so far tonight, it'd be a big confidence booster here for Rakowski.
There is an arm warming up in the Bourne Braves bullpen. So we'll see how much longer Rakowski goes. Here's the first pitch to Nick Gonzalez, and he fouls it off back into the mitt of Henry Davis for a strike 0-1. Gonzalez, 2 for 2, a single in the first and a double in the third. Came around to score the only run of the game for the Cotuit Kettleers so far. Here's the 0-1 inside. Nick Gonzalez backs out of it. 1 ball and 1 strike count now.
And Gonzalez, not a pitch there he necessarily struggles with, and especially today. We saw him explode on an 0-0 count and behind in a 1-2 count.
1-1 on Gonzalez is grounded right in between Glowenke and Warren, skips into left field, and that's the third hit of the ball game for Nick Gonzalez. He claps his hands over at first. He is having a day, and we're only in the fourth inning.
Yeah, he's on pace right now for 5 for 5 with how he's hitting the ball right now and how many at-bats he's going to have. That's like I said, how important it is that Rakowski faced him with the bases cleared, because if he has the opportunity with a runner on base to get a base hit like that, we could be looking at a different ball game here.
Gonzalez, one of the most lethal hitters in this league, has got on all 3 times. And he's going, and the throw over to first is wild. Cade Beloso dives for it. Gonzalez now moving over to third, and he will be sent home. The throw in from right is not in time, and Nick Gonzalez goes from first to home on a pickoff attempt from Harrison Rakowski.
We were talking all about his speed, and Nick Gonzalez just showed it off right there. Going all the way around the horn. Beloso having some trouble locating that ball after the air from Rakowski. He causes his own error. Now the Braves fall behind here 2-1.
If Rakowski would have got it over to first cleanly, Gonzalez could have been out. The first pitch to Casey Schmidt is fouled over into the seats, 0-1. Gonzalez stealing right when Rakowski turned to throw to first. And you think if Cade Beloso got that cleanly, could have just thrown it to second, and Gonzalez might have been out.
Yeah, it's almost like in the NBA when you see a three-point shooter 2 open, he misses a shot.
0-1 is skied over into the seats yet again. The kids go and run for the foul ball, and Schmidt falls behind 0-2.
It's almost like the play was too routine for Rakowski to make. He had Gonzalez picked off by a mile here. Gonzalez moving on the first motion from Rakowski. The Kettleers catch a break, though.
0-2 to Casey Schmidt is lined right back up the middle into center field. It's back-to-back hits for the Cotuit Kettleers, and Casey Schmidt gets on with a 2-out single.
And it's important for Rakowski to not have his confidence knocked too much. You mentioned the arm throwing right now in the bullpen, and with Aubrey Major up, he's got to be real careful here not to make a mistake. Major already 1 for 1.
Completely different sides of the ball game. Bourne, 2 hits, 1 run. Cotuit, 9 hits, just 2 runs. Aubrey Major, 1 for 1, a walk in the third inning and a single in the first. Comes up with Schmidt over at first. Harrison Rakowski steps off the mound. Time is being called. First base umpire Rick Emerson points back to start play yet again. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Rakowski comes set. Here's the first pitch to Major. Going is Schmidt. Henry Davis scoops it up. The throw down to second was a little off target to Poland at second, and Schmidt slides in safely. Cotuit with another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, the throw from Davis likely was in time. However, it pulled Poland off second base, off the left side of the bag, and Now Aubrey Major, who's already got a hard hit in this game, if he gets another one here, this game could be 3-1 Cotuit, just like that.
Pitches, it was a called ball to Major. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Rakowski. It's grounded over to second slowly. Jared Poland picks it up, no problem. Throw to first is in time, and that will do it for the bottom of the fourth inning. But the Cotuit Kettleers take the lead. Nick Gonzalez singles with 2 outs and then comes all the way around to score after Harrison Rakowski tries to pick him off and throws it wild. 2-1 lead for the Kettleers. We head to the top of the fifth. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Joseph Nahas back on the mound to begin his fifth inning of work as a 2-1 lead. Cotuit over the Bourne Braves. Nahas looking to make this his longest start of the season. His longest start was his only start against Orleans on the 26th of June. He went 4 innings there, allowing only 1 hit and striking out 9. Kyler Fedko will lead it off. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Braves, who look to overcome a deficit for the second night in a row. They fell behind 1-0 to Wareham last night, and now down 2-1 to Cotuit.
Yeah, see, hopefully they can play with a little sense of urgency here. Down 2-1. Cotuit out hitting them by 7 hits. A lot of Cotuit singles here in this game so far tonight. It'd be nice for the Braves here. It feels like the first team to blink in this game was going to fall, and the Braves might have just blinked in that bottom half.
You mentioned it again. The Braves, when scoring less than 2 runs, 2 or less runs in a game, are 1-8. That's why last night was so important, scoring 6 runs on 10 hits. Fedko's 0 for 1, a fly out to center. Nahas in his rotation. Here's the first pitch. It's high on the fastball. 1-0. The only 2 hits for the Braves coming from Jared Poland in the 3rd inning and Jackson Greer on the double in the 2nd. Xavier Warren walked. That was in the 4th. That's been the only other base runner. 1-0 pitch to Fedko. He skies it high. That ball moving into foul territory and into the seats. Evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cotuit with a great feel around here, Jordan. Go on.
Yes, they do. Kyler Fedko here has an opportunity here to gain some confidence. Seen his average and his playing time as well, Sam, start to slip a little bit in the recent week and a half here. Has the opportunity to get his 5th hit of the season and really jumpstart this offense.
1-1 pitch to Kyler Fedko is off speed. He skies it high right behind us at our announcer's table, and it goes into the steps of the press box. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the foul ball from Kyler Fedko. A very well-attended game tonight. Cotuit, the first time the Braves had visited their Western opponent this season. Has a great feel of the ballpark around it. Kids chasing after foul balls. 1-2 to Kyler Fedko. Off speed, got him swinging. And for Nahas, that is the 3rd strikeout of the game for him. 1 gone in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, tough pitch there for Fedko, and it's so hard, especially with pitching of this caliber, Sam, to stay alive in at bat when you fall behind 0-2. Really difficult to make anything happen here. That's why it's so critical to be aggressive and to go after the first good pitch you see. Let's see if Jared Poland can do that here.
Poland 1-for-1, a single. Got over to third and couldn't score. The first pitch from Nahas is a hard fastball that Poland swings at for a strike, 0-1.
I mean, especially with how well Nahas has been pitching today, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only fastball that Poland's seen. He's had that breaking ball on a string so far today.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Poland. Right down the middle again. It's an 0-2 count now. Poland looked at that one. This game, the first game of the night, starting at 5 o'clock. Most games starting around 6. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Poland watches it outside on the breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No lights here at Lowell Park for the Kettleers. Still a beautiful scenery in the outfield. 1-2 pitch on Jared Poland. Got him swinging on a beautiful off-speed pitch from Nahas. And that's a quick 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, that's just a disgusting pitch there from Nahas. Falls right off the table. Nothing you can do as a hitter. Starts out around waist level, and by the time it reaches the plate, down in the dirt. And if you fall behind 0-2 to this guy, he is going to make you pay.
Kyle Hess now up with 2 outs, nobody on. 0-for-1 on the night so far. Flew out to center in the 3rd inning. The first pitch to Kyle Hess. He swings at, screams it right down the first base line. And right there is Joey Loperfido again. He didn't have to dive this time, but he had to catch it on the fly as it was just curving low. And Loperfido puts it away. It's 3 up, 3 down. The Bourne Braves go down in order. No hits, no runs. A 2-1 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers. The bottom of the 5th coming up. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. After 4 innings, allowing 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 9 hits, 2 strikeouts, and only walking 1, the plug has been pulled on Harrison Rakowski, and Carl Johnson, the right-handed pitcher from Fairfield, Connecticut, steps in relief. With Rakowski already allowing 9 hits.
Yeah, and the last time we saw Carl Johnson was the same night we saw Harrison Rakowski last Wednesday night against Chatham. Johnson was credited with the win in that game. He threw 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts, only giving up 1 hit. And throughout 6 innings pitched, this is going to be his 5th appearance. He's only allowed 2 hits, and he's had a tough task tonight against this Cotuit lineup.
Orange Anu will swing at the first pitch and foul it off here in this bottom of the 5th inning. A run for Cotuit in the past 2 innings in the 3rd and the 4th gives them a 2-1 lead. Bourne hasn't scored since the top of the 2nd. 0-1 is skied left field side. Kyle Hess moving to his right. That ball will get over the fence in foul territory. And it's now an 0-2 count on Orange Anu, who's looking for his first hit of the ball game. Double play in the 1st and flew out to right in the 3rd inning.
Just hit a foul ball home run on that pitch as well. Got over the back fence, passing the 320 mark, but for Carl Johnson, that's just a long strike.
Johnson, the right-handed pitcher, 6'5", 190, comes set and throws a high fastball for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, complete waste pitch there from Carl Johnson, just way up and out, 91 on the gun.
Here's the 1-2 on Anu, and it's inside, almost hits him. Count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson last year had some experience in a summer league with the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Played for the Mystic Sooners. 2-2 is inside yet again. And the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Anu.
Yeah, definitely don't want to give up a leadoff walk against a lineup of this caliber. I think we're going to see fastball here, full count.
Payoff, it is a fastball. Anu gets contact, but it's foul on the first base line. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Braves have been lucky. 9 hits for the Kettleers. Only 2 runs suffered in those 9 hits. Payoff is grounded first base side out of play. They'll do it again. 3-2.
Yeah, you say lucky, Sam, and Ace Adams will say hit management.
That's a character. He is certainly probably the biggest character on this coaching staff.
It's for the coaching staff for sure.
Payoff is skied in the infield, actually curving foul. Henry Davis, the catcher, will look at it. It heads into the seats. And Araj Anu putting together a battle against Carl Johnson for his first batter he's facing. Anu will head back into the batter's box, 3-2.
See, this would have been the game to bring the glove to, I think, Sam.
Yeah, they're going right over our heads, it looks like. I wasn't aware of the short fencing that we'd see. Here's another payoff from Carl Johnson. A new ground ball over to Beloso at first. He scoops it up on a short hop, tags the bag, and that is the first out of the inning. Well, Beloso, we know over at Doran last night, had a couple of hops. One actually skipped right over him, and that time he waited for the ball to come to him and played it perfectly with a tag on first.
Yeah, he's a little lucky there. That was an Olay play from Cade Beloso over at first base. Completely took his eye off it, kind of just went with the glove, trying to avoid the hop. Got lucky, caught it.
Parker Chambers now up, watches an off-speed strike from Carl Johnson. Chambers 1 for 2, a strikeout in the second, a single in the third. 0-1 pitch from Johnson, who's moving quickly. It bounces way before the plate, gets back to the backstop for a ball. 1-1. Kettleers champions of the Cape League in 2013. Right now, sitting at second place in the Western Division. Bourne in third. 1-1 pitch. Chambers takes it down to right field. That ball will bounce in front of Kyler Fedko for a single. The 10th hit of the ball game for the Kettleers and the second one for Parker Chambers.
Yeah, so after getting a key first out there, leadoff foul, Chambers gets his second hit of the night, and that'll bring up Christian Robinson, who's got a pair of singles in this one. And this Cotuit lineup, Sam, we've seen them just explode 10 hits, and we're about halfway through this game.
Last night against Hyannis, Cotuit was only able to get 6 hits, but 9 runs out of those 6 hits. Christian Robinson comes up with a runner on first, 1 out against Carl Johnson for the first time. Johnson comes set. The first pitch is fouled off third base side from Robinson, 0-1. Sun beginning to set. Now, this game only in the bottom of the 5th inning, and we mentioned Cotuit doesn't have any lights. Daylight could be a little bit of a problem if this game goes as slowly as it has been going.
They'll squint. They'll be all right.
Let's hope. Johnson throw back to first. Luckily, haven't had to deal with fog recently. Had a fog delay, or not a delay. The Brewster game earlier in the season was called early due to fog.
That was a nasty day over there in Brewster with rain, cold weather. Sun doesn't set here until about 8:30, so there'll be a couple hours left here.
Throw back from first again from Carl Johnson. Chambers slides back in time.
Yeah, sun on the way down. It'll be interesting to see what time it is when it clips the top of those trees over there on the third base side. That's when the sun will, the lighting will become an issue.
Johnson turns back toward first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's inside. Henry Davis turns to block it. It's a called ball, 1 ball and 1 strike count. Chambers stays over at first.
Yeah, 2-1 here. And if you're Carl Johnson, you're really trying to get that ground ball out here. Already 1 double play so far. It'd be nice to see him make it 2.
Robinson's 2 for 2. A swinging strike makes this a 1 ball, 2 strike count. He singled in the second inning. and also singled in the third for an RBI, the only RBI of the day for the Kettleers. They have 2 runs, but one of them was Nick Gonzalez coming all the way home on a wild pickoff attempt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's swung on and missed for strike 3, the first strikeout of the night from Carl Johnson.
And big time strikeout there from Johnson. Momentarily nips the momentum in the bud. There's no at-bats off, though, in this lineup. Joey Lopafito already having a single for himself so far in tonight's game.
Lopafito, 1 for 2, a fly out to center in the third, and a single in the second inning. Looking to get Chavers home here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 lead for the Kettleers. First pitch from Johnson to Lopafito is low. 1-0. Carl Johnson coming out of UConn. Had a 4.09 ERA for them. 33 innings pitched coming on in relief. He's had a 2-1 record. The 0-1 is lined right out to center field, right in front of Judd Fabian. He picks it up. Stopping at second is Parker Chavers, and Joey Lopafito on for the second time tonight with a 2-out single.
And that's textbook piece of hitting there from Lopafito, taking it right where the pitch is coming from. Return to sender right over the shortstop Glowenke's head. Falls in shallow center field. Everybody moves station to station, 90 feet. And now brings up Adam Oviedo here, 0 for 2, a couple flyouts. And the bottom of the order, exactly who Carl Johnson is going to want to face right now.
11 hits for the Cotuit Kettleers. They've gotten a hit in every single inning, and just 2 runs to show for it. Oviedo 0 for 2. Runners on first and second for Carl Johnson. Let's see how he gets out of this. Hands meet at the chest. First pitch bounces away from Henry Davis. It's a called ball. Luckily, he gathers it over on the third base side, and Chavers stays over at second.
Again, another play that's not going to show up in the box score, but Henry Davis potentially saving 2 runs with that block. If that gets away from him anymore, both runners move up to second and third, and a base hit scores both of them.
1 error apiece for either team. Johnson comes set. The 1-0 also falls low, and it's a 2-0 count on Oviedo. Bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 lead for Cotuit. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Shortstop Adam Oviedo at bat. 2-0 pitch from Johnson is inside. Oviedo gets out of the box for it. It's now a 3-0 count.
And again here, a walk doesn't necessarily kill you. Runners on first and second. You'd like to stay away from it. Sam Ferry on deck, the number 9 spot. All doesn't matter if you get to him.
3-0, runners go. Throw down to third to try and get Chavers. The call is safe at third. Runners advance. Xavier Warren actually dropped the ball on the throw from Henry Davis, and Cotuit with runners on second and third now. Pitch was a called strike on Oviedo. Cotuit being aggressive on the base paths. They have 2 runners in scoring position. Oviedo's back in the box with a 3-1 count now.
Gutsy call there to send runners on a double steal.
Here's the 3-1 pitch on Oviedo. It's a ground ball over to short. Glowenke has it. The throw to first is in time. Beloso stretches. It's the 3rd out of the inning. So Cotuit leaves runners on second and third and can't bring them home. It's still a 2-1 lead for the Kettleers as we head to the top half of the 6th. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the lineup due up for the Bourne Braves in the top of the 6th inning. And staying on the mound for the Kettleers, Joseph Nahas will face this Braves lineup now for a 3rd time. Has only allowed 2 hits, 1 run. He's been dealing so far on the mound.
Yeah, he has, and this is big for the Braves and for Fabian. 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts.
First pitch to Judd Fabian from Nahas is low and outside. He'll take it for a ball.
That's the first ball Fabian has seen all day. Sent down on both strikeouts. Hey, a 3-pitch strikeout and then a 4-pitch strikeout back in the 3rd inning.
Fabian's been struggling on Nahas here today. Had a 3-for-5 game last night. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Nahas. It's right down the middle, and he sends that ball to center field. Chavers looks like he has it before the wall, gets under it, and will put it away. So Fabian gets contact for the first time tonight, but it's right over where Parker Chavers is, and it's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, just got under a little bit, hit it hard, and also unfortunately hit it to the deepest part of the park. 397 to dead center, and looks like Fabian hit that one about 375 or so. Just got a little bit under it. Ball kind of hangs up there. Now it falls to Jimmy Glowenke to try and get the Braves offense started.
Glowenke 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. His first flyout to left field was almost out of here in the 1st inning. He'll face Nahas for the first time. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Glowenke is high and outside, 1-0. Glowenke taking up many different spots in this lineup. This is the 3rd game in a row he's batted number 2. 1-0 pitch to Glowenke is low. Bounces in the dirt in front of Sam Ferry. A 2-0 count now.
Yeah, he went 0 for last night, but he definitely had himself a busy night up there at the plate. An RBI, a walk, a fielder's choice, a run scored. Really did a lot of different things up there. Tonight, not the same story so far. A couple pop-outs. Has the opportunity here to get something going for himself with a 2-0 count.
A righty-on-righty matchup. Glowenke against Nahas. Here's the 2-0 pitch to the shortstop for the Braves. He swings at it and lifts a high fly ball to straightaway center. Chavers under it yet again, and that's 2 quick outs to straightaway center field for the Cotuit Kettleers.
Yeah, solid contact from Glowenke. Again, he got under that one more than Fabian did. Chavers out there in center really didn't have to move too much for it. Now, Cade Beloso here trying to prevent the second 1-2-3 inning in a row here.
Beloso 0 for 3, a fly out and a ground out as well. Braves down 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Beloso, the first baseman for the Braves. Here's the first pitch. It's high and outside. 1-0. Beloso coming on just last week, taking over the first base spot for A.J. Curtis, who was the consistent everyday first baseman for the Braves, was released in the middle of last week. 1-0 is skied in foul territory. Third base side will fall into the seats. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And this is interesting, Sam. The longest we've seen a pitcher go in this league so far in any of the Braves games is 6 innings. No one moving right now for the Kettleer bullpen. Be interesting to see here if they give the Nahas the green light to go ahead and pitch the 7th.
And Nahas has been dealing so far. You have to imagine a lot of these pitchers in the bullpen want to get looks in front of scouts, want to go into this game. With the amount of scouts that are here, here's the 1-1 pitch to Beloso. It's off speed, and he watches it on the outside part of the plate for strike 2.
And it depends on what Nahas wants to throw here to Beloso. Will he go waste pitch? Maybe that breaking ball here against the lefty Beloso.
Here's the 1-2 pitch on Beloso. It's low and outside. Bounces in the dirt. He did not go. Checked his swing up just in. And the count will even up 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4 strikeouts on the evening for Joseph Nahas. Mentioned he had 9 strikeouts in just 4 innings against Orleans in his last start. The 2-2 on Beloso's outside. A fastball. 3-2 now. Count runs full.
Yeah, another good eye there from Beloso. Pitch after taking the breaking ball outside. Takes that pitch outside as well. Now, I think sure to get fastball here, 3-2.
Beloso back into the box. Here's the payoff pitch from Nahas. Beloso will foul it off. That ball slicing into foul territory on the third base side, and it will bounce in the stands on the third base side of the park. Beloso will have another 3 ball and 2 strike count. The first baseman out of LSU. LSU losing to Florida State in the Super Regional. Beloso coming to the Braves just a few short weeks after that loss. A rising sophomore, just 18 years old. Two 18-year-olds, him and Judd Fabian, in the lineup tonight for the Braves. Nahas staring down, and time is called by Beloso. Checks out of the box, takes a few practice swings.
Yeah, you never want to get too rigid up there. You always want to keep a little lucidity up there, keep everything loose. Now he's ready to go here, 3-2.
Payoff pitch to Beloso, 3-2, falls low. He checks his swing. He did not go around, and it's ball 4. Cotuit doesn't like the call, but the ball was in the dirt. Beloso held up his swing, and he's on first. A 2-out walk, and Beloso's on for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Bob Bland, the third base umpire, making the call. Beloso looked like he'd kind of given up on that play. He checked his swing, thought he went around. Let's see if the Braves can take advantage here. Obviously, the Kettleers not agreeing with the call. With Jackson Greer coming up, he's got the powerful bat and the hot bat right now for this Braves team.
Mike Roberts, the manager for the Cotuit Kettleers, out of the dugout right now, arguing the call. But Beloso gets over to first, and Jackson Greer will come up for the third time tonight, 1 for 2, with a double. Also a run scored, the only run scored for the Braves this evening. Throw back to first, Beloso back in time. Greer, we mentioned this is his third Cape Cod Baseball League team. Started off with Harwich. Played a few games for them, batted .400, played for YD for a game, and now comes to the Braves. First pitch to Greer is inside, backs him out of the box, 1-0 count.
And baseball, sometimes all it takes is just one little thing to go your way before you get some momentum and swing the entire rest of the game your way. Let's see if the Braves here can make that a turning point in this game. The fact that the Kettleers almost out of this inning now, perhaps Greer with a base hit to keep it rolling.
1-0 count to Greer is outside and in the dirt. He swings at it for a strike. Nahas had Greer totally fooled. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the Braves' designated hitter.
And Greer has done well with the fastball. We saw him rope that double down the third base line back in the second inning after getting a first pitch fastball here at 1-1. Might see another off-speed pitch here. Let's see if he adjusts well to it.
Greer back in the box. Nahas comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jackson Greer, a called strike on the inside corner, and Greer's now down a ball and 2 strikes.
Down 1-2. Looking to solidify his spot on this roster. You know, Jackson Greer is a guy who's played with 3 different teams, has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, something to prove here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Greer. It's off speed. He barely gets a bat on it and puts it off on the third base side to the Cotuit dugout. Greer still in the at-bat, 1-2. Actually, roommates with Braves closer Tyler Brocious. They have the same host family. Greer moving in just a few days ago. Have to be developing a great amount of chemistry between them. Greer with a 1-2 count. Nahas comes at. Now he delivers. Outside pitch. It bounces away from Ferry. It's a called ball. The count will even up 2-2. Beloso stays over at first.
Yeah, good take there from Greer. And with pitchers who have such great off-speed stuff, what you want to do is survive until you see the next fastball. And that's exactly what Greer's doing. He swings at a pitch that was probably going to be a ball. He fouls it off. He takes another ball there. 2 balls and 2 strikes, trying to get that fastball. Let's see if we can take advantage here.
Greer with 1 home run on the season. That was with Harwich in his 4 games played with them. Here's the 2-2 on Greer. It's high, and Greer now works this count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, here we go, too. Beloso's going to get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs, and you'd imagine here that Nahas is going to throw that fastball. Greer is going to be ready to go. This is like I said, could be a turning point in that game. This Beloso walk could mean more than just a walk here, Sam.
Greer adjusts the batting gloves, now steps back into the box. A 2-1 lead for Cotuit. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Beloso will get a head start over at first. The 3-2 pitch on Jackson Greer is a swinging strike 3. Joseph Nahas strikes out another batter for the Braves, make that 5 strikeouts for him. He closes down the top of the 6th inning with 1 runner left on base for the Bourne Braves. No hits, no runs, still a 2-1 lead. for the Cotuit Kettleers heading to the bottom half of the inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Cotuit Kettleers still with a 2-1 lead as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning at Lowell Park. As the sun begins to set here, it'll be Sam Ferry leading it off. Nick Gonzalez back to the top of the lineup, and Casey Schmidt. 9-1-2 due up against Carl Johnson, who's in for his 2nd inning for the Braves in this game. First pitch to Sam Ferry is high and tight for a ball. Ferry in his first game of the summer, 0 for 2. Fielder's choice in the 2nd, and the grounder to Xavier Warren in the 4th at 3rd. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's off speed and high from Johnson, 2-0.
And not even Carl Johnson really being able to work through the lineup soundly, giving up a couple hits last inning.
2-0 is taken deep to left field. Kyle Hess will get under it off the bat of Ferry and make the play in left field right by the wall. He had to jump up and fall for it and fell right by the left field fence, but Sam Ferry goes out on a deep fly out. Kyle Hess makes the play for the first out.
And that's a great play from Kyle Hess. Read it well right off the bat. Had to leap into the air to make the catch. And when he came down, he was greeted by the chain link fence over there in left field. Great play, but the problem is, here comes Nick Gonzalez here, Sam.
Oh, it's good that Sam Ferry didn't get on with that hit. And it's now Nick Gonzalez. Gonzalez watches the first pitch strike on the outside part of the zone. He is 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double, and he has been the only 2 runs that Cotuit has scored. Came around to score on an RBI in the 3rd and came around to score on a wild throw as he fouls off the 0-1, 0-2 now. A wild pickoff attempt from Harrison Murkowski in the 4th inning. Cade Beloso went wild, and Gonzalez went from first to home. He's now up for the 4th time. A solid day for the hottest hitter in the Cape League so far. The 0-2 pitch is high from Carl Johnson, 1-2.
Yeah, this is a big momentum shifting at bat right here if Carl Johnson is able to retire Nick Gonzalez, because not many teams, especially this past week, have been able to do that with any success.
Johnson shakes off a sign. Now see something he likes from Henry Davis. 1-2 pitch is off speed, a grounder over to Xavier Warren. Fields it cleanly. Throw to first is in time. And finally, Nick Gonzalez is retired for the first time tonight. It's 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
And that's a great job of pitching by Carl Johnson. The key to retiring the talented hitters like Gonzalez and Aubrey Major is to get ahead of them, get ahead in the counts, force an 0-2, force a 1-2. And when you're able to do that, the likelihood of their zone expands past the actual strike zone, more willing to swing at anything to protect, and able to force a ground ball out there.
Casey Schmidt now up. He's 1 for 3. First pitch, he swings at ground ball foul on the 3rd base side. Cotuit manager Mike Roberts picks it up as he coaches 3rd base. It's 0-1. Schmidt with a single in the 4th inning. Strikeout in the 3rd, a fly out to first in the 1st. Johnson comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Schmidt. It's a fastball outside. A ball and a strike. Nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 lead for the Kettleers. Coming off a win against Hyannis last night, 1-1. is grounded over to second. Jared Poland picks it up, throw to first, and there's the third out of the inning. So for the first time tonight, the Cotuit Kettleers go down in order. No runs, no hits. A 2-1 lead for Cotuit as we head to the top of the seventh. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Kettleers making a pitching change in the top of the seventh inning. It's Beck Way, and Jordan, I'm sure the Braves are certainly happy to see a new arm.
Yeah, big sigh of relief coming from the Braves dugout, I'm sure. The Haas, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, only 1 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and for Mr. Beck Way coming from Belmont Abbey, so far this Cape season, 2-1 with a 1.22 ERA, 7 1/3 innings pitched, has only given up 2 runs, only 1 of which earned, 5 hits and 9 strikeouts. Last time he threw was a couple nights ago against Wareham. He threw 2/3 of an inning, giving up 1 run and a hit in that 11-3 win over the game for the Cotuit Kettleers. Going up against the middle of the order, Warren, Davis, and Fedko.
Warren, Davis, and Fedko all hitless in the game so far. Warren got on with a walk in the 4th inning and flew out in the 2nd. Henry Davis with a sac fly RBI. It's been the only noise the Braves have been able to make on the scoreboard in this one. So Xavier Warren will be the first batter that Beck Way will face, a rising junior out of Belmont Abbey College.
And should things stand the way they do right now, the Haas is in line for the win. But Xavier Warren and the Braves here trying to change that against the new arm here in the 7th inning.
Warren looking to pick things up. Had a solid game yesterday, 2 for 3 with a double. First pitch is low for a ball from Way. Warren collecting 2 RBIs in last night's affair against Wareham, reaching base 3 times as he also walked. 1-0 pitch to Warren is grounded over to second. Nick Gonzalez moves to his right, throws across his body, and gets the speedy Warren for the first out of the inning.
And only 2 pitches there in that at bat. Let's see if Henry Davis makes Beck Way work a little bit more here.
Henry Davis responsible for the only runs in the last game he played against Hyannis on Sunday, a 2-run home run, and responsible for the only run here tonight with a sac fly in the 2nd inning, scoring Jackson Greer. First pitch from Way is down the middle on a fastball for a strike. 0-1 on Davis. Davis from Louisville, a rising sophomore. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball upstairs. A nice frame job from Sam Ferry behind the plate, but he can't get the call. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And how about the way Sam Ferry sets up? A little unique. Not in the squat. Usually places that left knee on the ground and then moves into a full split sometimes.
1-1 pitch is another fastball that's high. 2-1. Davis, coming out of high school, was the number 5 recruit in New York. The 2018 Perfect Game New York Player of the Year as well. A highly touted player coming out of high school. And he showed that at Louisville, batting .286 with 19 RBI, 3 homers. 2-1 is outside, and it's a good hitter's count for the Bourne catcher, Henry Davis, 3-1.
Yeah, and sure to get fastball here. That last pitch coming from Way popped 97 on the radar gun here at Lowell Park.
The 3-1 pitch from Way. Davis watches it outside, and he's on with a 5-pitch walk. Henry Davis gets on for the first time tonight, and that brings up a hitless Kyler Fedko.
Yeah, that'll get the job done if you're Henry Davis, and the Braves only trailing by 1 run here. Running out of outs as the game moves on. Have to manufacture runs in the same way they manufactured that run back in the second inning. It was a double by Greer, 2 flyouts back-to-back, and the Braves were on the board. See if they can move Davis over to third here, this at-bat from Kyler Fedko.
Fedko's 0 for 2. Fly out and a strikeout. Henry Davis over on first, a throwback, and Davis gets back in time. 1 out in the inning, top of the 7th inning. 2-1 lead for Cotuit. Kyler Fedko with a brother playing for Harwich this season, Christian Fedko. These two teams played each other. Kyler was out with a injury. First pitch is grounded or fouled off back toward the backstop. He'll start off 0-1.
Yeah, Kyler dealing with some SI joint problems. Really hampered his playing time ability the first couple weeks of the season. It's been nice to see him get back in the lineup here this last week and a half.
Fedko seems to be playing every other game. Rotating with a few other outfielders. Giovanni DiGiacomo being one of those, coming in last week, a new face to this Bourne organization. 0-1 gets behind Sam Ferry. It's a called ball, and Henry Davis will advance over to second on the wild pitch. So the Braves have the tying run in scoring position with just 1 out.
That's what it all comes down to, manufacturing runs and manufacturing base runners as well. Henry Davis gets on with a walk, and then a wild pitch moves him up to second base. The Braves have a runner in scoring position here without a hit. So now Kyler Fedko, same story back in that second inning. His goal here just becomes to move the runner over, hopefully.
Fedko into the box, a righty-on-righty matchup. Beck Way with a little bit of problems over at second base here in the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He turns back and throws towards second. Davis gets back in time. And time is called by Sam Ferry, going out to talk to Beck Way on the mound, trying to find a way to get out of this inning unharmed. The Braves haven't scored since the top of the second inning on the Henry Davis sac fly, scoring Jackson Greer. Their last hit was back in the 3rd, coming from Jared Poland. And Fedko trying to change that here in the 7th. And now we're having a meeting on the mound with manager Mike Roberts. I don't see an arm there is an arm warming up for Cotuit. I'm not sure if this will be a pitching change or not.
No, I think Roberts just going out here trying to calm his man down. Back Way, after firing the wild pitch, threw back to second base, is just trying to settle down. And this might be the old, I'm going to go stall up there on the mound while a man in the bullpen gets loose.
Talking over with Beck Way from Belmont Abbey College, a rising junior. The Braves at 3rd place in the West. Cotuit at 2nd place. You know what this is a great time for, Joran?
What's that?
Can we get a little score update?
Oh.
Can we do that?
You've come to the right place
for
a score update. Right now, the Wareham Gatemen tied up with the YD Red Sox 1-1. That game over at YD. The Braves, of course, seeing Wareham tomorrow night. And then elsewhere around the Cape, Brewster with a 3-1 lead over the Falmouth Commodores. That's a game the Braves will be watching particularly closely here. Only 1 point separating those two teams. Chatham and Harwich tied up 0-0. And the Hyannis Harborhawks getting ready to take on the Orleans Firebirds. That game set to start in just a couple minutes.
YD coming off a tough 15-1 loss last night against Chatham. It's a 1-1 count on Fedko. We're back to action, and the pitch is outside from Beck Way. Moves the count up, 2 balls and 1 strike. Orleans also with a very hot team. They lead the East Division now. We're in last place just last week and have gone on a little bit of a winning streak to lead that tough Eastern Division. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Beck Way. It's outside, and Fedko now with a great count, 3-1.
And ever since that wild pitch, Way has just not looked comfortable up there on the mound. 3-1 count for sure to Fedko. I'd be almost surprised if he swings at this pitch, given how erratic Way has been since that wild pitch here. 3-1 with 1 out, first base open. See if Way can find the zone here.
Davis over on second. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Kyler Fedko. It's outside, and Fedko will walk. You can't imagine Beckway is too torn up about that walk, as now that's a force out at third, and the double play possibility comes into effect. Jared Poland now steps up, has the last Braves hit back in the third inning, and there will be a pitching change. Mike Roberts comes up to the mound to talk to Beck Way, and Cotuit will be heading to the bullpen. That'll be it for Way in relief. So we'll take a quick break here with runners on first and second for the Braves. Just 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Cotuit still with a 2-1 lead. You're watching the Braves baseball on YouTube. One out in the top of the 7th inning. It's a new arm. Beck Way only goes a third of an inning, walking 2. And we have a position player pitching alert as Casey Schmidt, the third baseman, will step up and take the mound for the Kettleers.
I hope you're proud of that, by the way.
Thanks.
Casey Schmidt moves from third base to the mound here. So far this season, this is going to be his 4th appearance. He got an ERA of 9.64. He's thrown 4 2/3 innings with 4 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 8 hits. The last time he threw was June 28th against Orleans. He threw 1 2/3 innings there, giving up 2 runs, only 1 of which earned. So a little bit of an unusual situation there. Schmidt not giving any chance, obviously, to warm up. This is the only warm-up throws he's going to get. Had to move from third base. He went out and took all the batting gloves and all of the accessories out of his pockets, cleared everything to go take the mound.
And Matthew Mervis will move to third base. The rising senior out of Duke will take over Casey Schmidt's spot as Schmidt moves to the mound. And he has a tough situation to get out of. At second base, it's Henry Davis. At first, it's Kyler Fedko. And Jared Poland, who's one of only 2 Braves with a hit, will come up to bat with only 1 out here in the 7th. Schmidt gets a talking to from the catcher, Sam Ferry, and we are about to be back to action. Braves looking for their first run since the 2nd. Hearing from home plate umpire Pat Burns. Cotuit will lose the DH.
So what happens there is Aubrey Major now goes from DH to left field. Christian Robinson's night has come to an end. And you heard the DH is no more. So that's an interesting one on the scorebook to keep track of. Go from DH to no DH.
And Jared Poland now steps up. Runners on first and second. First pitch from Schmidt is a fastball down the middle for a strike.
So it looks like Mervis is going to bat in the 6th hole where Christian Robinson is for the Kettleers. That'll belong to Mervis.
Schmidt comes set. One out in the inning, turns back towards second. Now the 0-1 delivery is down the middle yet again, and Poland finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
I'll tell you what, Sam, I think that's the first time I've ever seen the DH just be foregoed like that in the middle of a game.
No, when you have Casey Schmidt, who can hit as well now pitching. Schmidt has 1 hit in tonight's game. And get rid of the DH. Schmidt staring down Ferry right now. Stepped off the mound, now collects himself. Hands meet at the chest. Turns back towards second. Now the 0-2 pitch to Poland is outside. Ferry has to dive to keep it in front of him. And the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Poland.
Yeah, nice job there by Sam Ferry, keeping the ball out in front. Waste pitch there from Schmidt, and it's a big opportunity here for Jared Poland. See if we can get something hit here at 1-2.
Third pitcher of the game for the Kettleers and Casey Schmidt after Beck Way starts off the inning and can't finish it. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Poland. Swung on and missed for the second out of the inning. Poland swung way out in front of it on a pitch that was low and outside, and there's now 2 outs with Kyle Hess coming up.
Yeah, with that strikeout, the Braves pretty much lose all their leverage here in this inning. With 1 out, you could still move the runners over to second and third. They lose that opportunity now, barring a wild pitch or a pass ball. Falls on Kyle Hess, looking for his first hit of the game to get this Braves team back and tied up with the Cotuit Kettleers.
Hess with a fly out to center and a line out to first. Joey Loperfido making a great play on that last at-bat from Hess, who swings at the first pitch and misses from Schmidt. Braves are way out in front of Casey Schmidt's off-speed stuff. Schmidt turns his body, so now he faces the catcher. Now stands parallel. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's down the middle yet again. Hess watches it, and he's now down 0-2.
Yeah, good location there from Schmidt. I don't think Hess really liked the call there. I think Ferry did a nice job of framing it up. Pitch looked like it just crossed right below the knees, but definitely close enough to the strike zone.
Braves in danger of leaving runners on first and second when they had runners at first and second with only 1 out. Here's the 0-2 to Kyle Hess. Got him swinging. And Casey Schmidt comes on in relief and strikes out the final 2 batters of the inning. The Braves leave runners on first and second. No runs, no hits in the top of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Lowell Park. Cotuit on top, 2-1. You're watching Braves baseball on YouTube. 2-1 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers, and Harvey Shapiro makes a change on the mound. It'll be Blake Burzell out of Arizona State taking over for Carl Johnson.
Yeah, Blake Burzell, we haven't seen him since last Thursday. He pitched a perfect 2 innings against the Brewster Whitecaps, the same team he lost to earlier this season. He's got an 0-1 record, still has a perfect ERA at zeros across the board, has given up 1 run in 4 innings. This will be his 4th appearance.
Facing Aubrey Major as his first batter. First pitch is on the outside corner for a strike here in this bottom of the 7th. Major is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, walked in the third, and grounded out last in the 4th. The 0-1 is outside from Burzell. That'll even it up 1 ball and 1 strike. Numbers were high at ASU, a 5.59 ERA and 30 appearances as the 1-1 has sailed over almost over the head of Davis, out high and outside, 2-1. 38 2/3 innings pitched, 24 earned runs. Opponents batted only .233 against him. 2-1 on Major is swung on and missed, and that evens up the count 2-2.
This will be big for Burzell here. This is a big first out of the inning to get against who could end up being an all-star for this team if he's able to stay healthy.
The 2-2 pitch on Aubrey Major is outside on the famous fastball from Blake Burzell, and the count now runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And the big thing for Blake Burzell is if he's able to develop that second pitch.
3-2 pitch is swung on, ground ball over to Beloso, who fields it cleanly, runs over to first, and tags the bag for a much-needed first out on Aubrey Major.
And that's a good out there for Blake Burzell. He's rolling right now. Had a great appearance against the Whitecaps last Thursday. Looking to keep that momentum up here against the Cotuit Kettleers.
Now it's Orange Anu, 0 for 3 on the game so far, a double play. A fly out and a ground out in the 5th. Here's the first pitch to Anu. He swings out, fouls off on the third base side, heads into the seats, and he's down 0-1.
And if Burzell is able to get up on Anu here, despite him having the off night, Anu tying for the league in Cape home runs at 3.
Here's the 0-1 pitch on Anu. It's off speed. He swings at it and fouls it off on the first base side, a little chopper. He's now down in the count 0-2. Burzell, one of the tallest players on this Braves team. He stands at 6'6", 225. Here's the 0-2 pitch on Anu. It's a fastball, just missing the zone on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, good pitch there from Burzell. Just missed outside. Maybe a little up as well here. Still up in the count here.
1-2 from Burzell. Upstairs, evens up the count 2-2. 11 hits for the Kettleers, just 2 runs scored. Those coming in the 3rd and 4th innings. 2 hits for the Braves. They have a run back in the top of the 2nd. 2-2 pitch on Anu from Burzell. Got him swinging. There's the first strikeout of the night from Blake Burzell. There's 2 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward swing there from Anu there. He lost control of the bat. The lefty with his left hand on top of his right there, and the bottom hand came off the bat. He finished that swing with only the left hand on the bat, so hard to hit the ball when you don't have control of the bat.
Parker Chavers now comes up and swings at the first pitch, lines it to left center field. That ball will get down in the gap. Fabian and Hess running for it. Hess will pick it up. No, it's Fabian. Chavers gets over to second. It's a 2-out double. The throw in from Fabian hits the cutoff man. And the Kettleers not going down in this inning without a fight. Chavers gets his 3rd hit of the evening with a double.
Yeah, no at-bats off in this Kettleer lineup. And Parker Chavers sitting on a first pitch fastball. Got it from Burzell. Took that to the left center field gap. Great piece of hitting there. And now Burzell in a little bit of trouble here, giving up his first hits since last Thursday.
Matthew Mervis steps in. Pinch hitting for Christian Robinson after he came in the top half of the inning, playing 3rd base for the rest of the night. Here's the first pitch to Mervis. It's upstairs for a ball and outside from Burzell. Mervis, a 133 average, just 2 for his first 15 at-bats, 2 RBIs. 8 games played for him. He came in a pinch hit appearance last night, or a couple of nights ago against Wareham, and went 0 for 1, and now screams one down the first base line. That ball will be fair. It's enough to get home. Parker Chavers and Matthew Mervis heads over to second. It's a pinch hit RBI double and Cotuit adds to their lead. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and I think everyone here is sitting on that fastball from Burzell, and that time Mervis, first at bat of the game, got that pitch up and in, took it right down the right field line. Beloso, all he could do was watch it sail over his head, roped it right down the line, and now the Kettleers with a big 2-run lead.
Joey Loperfido comes up with 2 singles in the game so far, 2 for 3 day. 13 hits for the Kettleers. The Braves are lucky to just get 3 runs out of that. First pitch to Loperfido, right down the first base line. Another fair ball down the line. Coming home is Matthew Mervis. Going to second is Loperfido. He is there standing up, and it's 3 straight doubles. Cotuit now leads 4-1.
And I felt for the longest time in this game as which team was going to blink first, and I think the Braves might have just blinked in this game. 3 consecutive doubles, 2 of them right down the first base line. It finds the spot right where Beloso's not. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's a 3-1 lead for Cotuit.
Burzell started off this inning with 2 quick outs for Major and Anu, and 3 straight doubles have opened this game up. A 3-run lead for the Cotuit Kettleers. Adam Oviedo comes up 0 for 3 on the night so far. Has a runner over on second. First pitch is upstairs from Burzell for a ball call. 1-0. Oviedo, the shortstop today. Loperfido over at second, looking to get him home as well. 1-0 is fouled off. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Burzell here really having to work hard at not giving up another base hit. Every single Kettleer has got some speed. Shown that on the back-to-back-to-back doubles here. Base hit likely to score the runner from second, Loperfido.
1-1 from Burzell. Oviedo watches that nice breaking ball curve right into the zone for a strike. 1-2 now. Burzell looking to get out of this inning. Already 2 runs across the plate for the Kettleers. 14 hits for them in the game. 4 runs across the plate. 4-1 lead for Cotuit. A time call by Oviedo in the box. A team that was batting .239 coming into this game has certainly raised that team average. The 1-2 pitch from Burzell is a broken bat right back up the middle. Charging in is Poland. The throw to first will be in time to get Oviedo, but the Cotuit Kettleers get much-needed insurance runs. It's 2 runs coming across the plate on 3 straight doubles in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cotuit still leads. It's now 4-1. We head to the top half of the 8th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Top of the lineup, 1, 2, 3, due up for the Bourne Braves, who now find themselves in a deeper hole. It's now 4-1. Cotuit hadn't scored since the bottom of the 4th inning, but they tack on 2 more in the bottom of the 7th to make this a 4-1 lead, as Judd Fabian, who's 0 for 3, will lead it off. going up against Casey Schmidt and watches ball one fall low in the dirt, 1-0. Fabian, 2 strikeouts today, Jordan.
I was going to say, Sam, if the Braves are to make a move, it needs to be right now. Top of the order, down by 3 runs, need to get at least half that.
The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Fabian thought about it, didn't swing. 1-1. Through the first 3 batters in the lineup, the only time the Braves have been able to get on base was Cade Beloso's walk in the 6th inning. This top 3 has been handled. 1-1 is swung on. Little chopper over to third. It's picked up by Mervis. Throw to first is able to get Fabian. 1 up, 1 down.
And it seems that with this Braves team, as we are moving toward the middle part here of the second quarter of the season, the magic number is 2. Above 2 runs, more than likely going to be a win. If they can't get to that 2-run spot, well, then we know which way the game's probably going as well.
Yeah, if they lose this game with only 1 run on the board, that record will fall to 1-9 with 2 or less runs scored in the game. Here's the first pitch to Jimmy Glowenke. It's outside, 1-0. Glowenke is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. 1 to left, 1 to center, 1 to first. 1-0 pitch. He just fouls it off on a check swing. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Glowenke. Glowenke had a 3-game hit streak and was hitless last night and now hitless so far in this one.
And Cody Morissette right now on deck in place of Cade Beloso.
1-1 pitch. Glowenke takes to right field. Anu is moving back toward the corner. That ball just goes foul. So that'll move this to a 1 ball and 2 strike count. Glowenke getting some great contact, just can't find any hole to get his ball into. Okay. One and two's the count. And Morissette on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Glowenke. It's swung on and missed. And that's the second out of the inning as Glowenke heads back to the dugout.
It was an interesting wind-up there from Casey Schmidt on the mound. Kind of just paused, almost Dan Herron-esque up there on the mound. Went up with his leg, kind of paused, and then brought it down for the strikeout as Cody Morissette, like we said, going to be stepping in. And more than likely, what I'd imagine is Xavier Warren is going to move from third to first, and Morissette will occupy that third base position.
We've seen Morissette come in and pinch hit opportunities before. He has a 3-game hit streak of his own. Didn't play in last night's game against Wareham, but played on Sunday against Hyannis. 1 for 4, a strikeout. And now comes up, nobody on, 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Beloso will finish the day 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch on Morissette takes it right to the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez, who plays it on a hop. Throw to first is in time. The Braves go down in order. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits in the top half of the 8th. Still a 4-1 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers heading to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Blake Burzell's night is done on the mound for the Braves. He only goes 1 inning, allowing those 2 insurance runs for the Cotuit Kettleers on 3 straight doubles. And Harvey Shapiro for the Braves decides to put in Kieran Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw out of Harvard University. Only a short trip from college over here to the Cape. Has pitched 4 times, make this his 5th appearance. He's got a 1-0 record, a 2.45 ERA. Only 3 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 2 runs, one of which earned. The last time we saw him, he pitched a 1-2-3 inning against Chatham last Wednesday night. And a hold situation there. So no win, no loss for him. Is forced to keep the lead at 3 here for the Bravos in the bottom of the 8th.
And we see Nick Bruiser for the Braves goes over in the first baseman spot for Cade Beloso. Everything else seems to look the same. Xavier Warren stays at third. So the only change it looked like they made was Nick Bruiser now going over to first after Cody Morissette took out Cade Beloso in the lineup.
Yeah, so Bruiser will now occupy that 3 spot, which was originally held by Beloso, then went to Morissette. So now that'll go to Nick Bruiser, although it's unlikely unless the Braves bat around in the top half of the 9th that he'll see an at-bat.
Sam Ferry comes up for his 4th at-bat. He's 0 for 3. The catcher for the Kettleers. The first pitch he sees from Shaw is high and tight, 1-0. Fielder's choice in the second, a ground out to third in the 4th, and a fly out to left in the 6th inning. 1-0 pitch to Ferry. Fastball down the middle from Shaw. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sam Ferry just getting activated yesterday for the Kettleers, playing in his first game at Lowell Park. 1-1 pitch from Kieran Shaw. Fastball outside. Moves up to a 2 ball and 1 strike count. After Ferry, it's back to the top of the lineup with Gonzalez, who's 3 for 4. 2-1. Ferry, ground ball, hard hit over to Glowenke at short, fumbles it, but still makes the play. The throw to first is scooped out of the dirt by Bruiser, and that is the first out of the inning. Glowenke having a little bit of trouble at short, but he keeps it in front of him and makes the play.
Yeah, all is forgiven if you're able to make the throw over to the first base. And credit Nick Bruiser there for a good pick over there. The lefty able to stretch out, pick the ball clean out of the dirt for a big first out as we hit the top of the lineup once again.
Gonzalez steps up, his 5th at-bat of tonight's ball game. 3 for 4. First pitch is a breaking ball from Shaw that falls low, 1-0. Single in the first, double in the third, single in the 4th. He's came around to score twice and grounded out in the 6th inning. 1-0 pitch from Kieran Shaw is a fastball that's lifted into the seats on the first base side from Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike count. No wind. Temperature cooling down here at Lowell Park in Cotuit. Sun is setting under the trees on the third base side. As Cotuit looks to get out of this game with a win. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Shaw. It's outside, and that moves up to a 2 ball and 1 strike count.
Yeah, with a Cotuit win and a Wareham a loss or a tie for the Gatemen tonight, Cotuit will either find themselves in first place, so in sole possession, or at least tied if the Wareham end up tying tonight's game.
2-1 from Kieran Shaw. Gonzalez, hard hit ground ball to Glowenke again. He snaps it. Throw to first is in time. Glowenke's made 2 plays over at short for the 2 outs of the inning.
And nice job there getting Nick Gonzalez out. And up steps the pitcher right now, which is not a phrase we'll be saying often in this baseball league, Casey Schmidt.
Schmidt, who came on, was playing third base, came on in relief and has completely shut down the Braves lineup. Schmidt came on in relief of Beck Way, who just pitched a third of an inning in the 7th. Now comes up for an at-bat, has 1 hit in today's ball game, and swings at the first pitch from Kieran Shaw for a strike, 0-1.
And Schmidt, we saw him hit that single back in the 4th inning. He's had a pretty subsidized day up there at the plate, and if the Braves are able to come back, it'd be interesting to see how Mike Roberts handles the pitching situation since they forfeited their DH.
0-1 pitch on Schmidt, and he fouls it off first base side. Moving over is Fedko, but that ball will go foul. 0-2 now. Wareham on top of the West Division. Cotuit looking to build a winning streak off this game. The Braves grabbing a big win against Wareham last night. Their momentum has not carried over into this one. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Casey Schmidt. It's outside from Shaw. Schmidt doesn't go for it. 1-2. The longest stretch of games played in the Cape League so far, this being the 6th game played in a row for the Bourne Braves after many rainouts a couple weeks ago. The Braves finally hit a stretch of consecutive games. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Schmidt. He takes to deep left field. Kyle Hess is moving back on it, and he will put it away just in front of the wall. The Cotuit Kettleers go down in order. No runs, no hits in the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for the Bourne Braves in the top half of the 9th. They trail 4-1 to the Kettleers. You're watching the Braves on YouTube. Top of the 9th, Casey Schmidt still on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers, looking to pick up his first save of the season. And Jordan, let's take a look at the scores around the Cape real quick.
Yeah, the top of the 9th, YD is a 3-1 lead over the Wareham Gaiman, so if they're able to hang on, the Cotuit Kettleers will retake first position in the West Division. Falmouth has a 6-3 lead over the Brewster Whitecap, so if Falmouth takes the lead, or keeps the lead, I should say, over Brewster, they'll overtake the Braves for the 3rd spot in the West. Harwich has a 2-0 lead over the Chatham Anglers, and Orleans has a 2-0 lead over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in that game over at Eldridge Park.
Orleans looking to build their winning streak to 5, the longest streak by any team in the Cape League, as Jackson Greer steps up to lead off this top of the 9th inning against Casey Schmidt. First pitch is low in the dirt from Schmidt. 1-0 to Greer. Has only 1 hit in the top of the 2nd inning, where he doubled and came around to score, so he's 1 for 3. A fly out in the 4th and a strikeout in the 6th. 14 hits for the Kettleers, just 2 for the Bourne Braves. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Greer, is off speed and right in the middle of the zone from Schmidt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, so far Schmidt has faced 5 batters and retired 3 of them by way of the strikeout.
1-1 pitch. Just on the outside corner. It's now a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Sam Ferry behind the plate doing the position where he puts his right leg totally flat on the ground. Something you don't see too often from catchers.
I don't think I could probably last 30 seconds like that. I might start cramping up.
I'm not flexible at all. 1-2 pitch to Greer. Got him swinging. And for Schmidt, that is his 4th strikeout of the evening. He came on in relief and sits down Greer. 1 out in the top of the 9th. It's now Xavier Warren.
Yeah, it must be an interesting position to be as a manager when you have a shutdown reliever who could also play 3rd base and hit the ball for you as well.
Xavier Warren 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to him is a fastball outside, 1-0. Braves looking for any sort of base runner they can get. Have only mustered 2 hits in this game. The lowest hit total of the season, except for the game against YD, as the pitch is outside, 2-0. Where Xavier Warren actually got the only 2 hits in that game.
And, game not over yet, obviously. Braves need to put a couple of at-bats together here, get a couple base runners, and hopefully maybe a big fly here. We know how that ball likes to carry.
2-0 to Xavier Warren. Watches the fastball for a strike, 2-1. The Kettleers faithful has stuck around this entire game. This game that's eclipsed 2.5 hours now, one of the longer ones that the Braves have had this season. 2-1 pitch to Warren. Thinks about it and watches strike 2. He check swung, but it was a strike anyway, and the count evens up 2-2.
And Schmidt is dealing here. I think he's got the Braves bats very confused here, going for his 5th strikeout here, Sam.
2-2. Warren, little chopper back up the middle. Charging in is Oviedo. The throw to first is in time, and the Braves have gone up, 2 down. Henry Davis now coming up. No, it'll be Brendan Rivoli, a pinch hitter. Brendan Rivoli will be the last chance for the Braves here in the top of the 9th inning.
And Harvey Shapiro just trying to play matchup game here. The righty Schmidt going up against the lefty Rivoli. You have to go all out when your backs are to the wall here. Only 1 out left to go. And the Braves looking like they might be 2 hits here tonight.
Rivoli, the lowest average on the team at .080. He's 2 for his first 25 to start off the season with 8 strikeouts. Last time he played, he got the start in the game against Hyannis. He went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. He comes up as the Braves' last chance. Down 4-1. Here's the first pitch to Rivoli. It's right down the middle for a strike. Starts him off 0-1. Schmidt looking to pick up his save. Joseph Nahas will be in line to pick up the victory. He went 6 innings. He allowed those 2 hits for the Braves. 0-1. Rivoli, ground ball, first base side. Loperfido was there to toss to Casey Schmidt. Covering is in time, and the Cotuit Kettleers 2-hit the Bourne Braves and pick up the win, 4-1.
And another game for the Braves where they can't get past the magic number. They can't get past that 2-run mark. They're held to 2 hits, and early in this game, we were thinking the Braves bats, they were sticking around. They no hit past the 3rd inning, Sam. 4 through 9, no hits, and only just a few base runners.
And Joran, the inconsistency of this team is pretty blatant now. After coming off a 6-1 win against the best team in the Western Division, they get 2 hits, allow 14 hits. Such an uncharacteristic game for this pitching staff.
It is an uncharacteristic game, but at the same point, they only gave up the 4 runs. They did a nice job, especially in the early goings of that game, of this game, to hold the run production from the Commodores. We're talking about they only scored runs in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 7th inning. And before that 7th inning, this was a 2-1 game where one swing of the bat could have tied the game up. I mean, the pitching staff, you can only bend but not break for so long. There's only so many games that the pitching staff is only going to give up 2 runs. So I think it's just delaying the inevitable with this pitching staff. When you give up 2 runs, 1 run, no runs, 2 runs, eventually there's going to be that game where you give up 4 runs. But as a hitting team, you need to do better than 2 hits.
The Braves fall to 6-10 on the year. Final lines, Joseph Nahas picks up the victory after pitching 6 innings, only allowing 2 hits, 1 earned run, walking 2, and striking out 5. Casey Schmidt picks up his first save of the season after he strikes out 5 Braves coming on in relief. The RBIs for the Cotuit Kettleers, Christian Robinson picks up an RBI by getting a single in the 3rd inning, and that treacherous 7th inning, an RBI coming from Matthew Mervis on his RBI double in a pinch hit situation, and Joey Loperfido picks up an RBI double as well in that 7th. So it's a 4-1 victory for the Cotuit Kettleers. The Braves will be in action tomorrow against the Wareham Gatemen at Wareham. That game starting at 6 p.m. That'll be it. Alongside Joran Palacio, I'm Sam Wiederhoff saying have a great night, everybody.